Evening all, welcome back to Beyond the Lane, episode 15. Hope everybody's keeping well. Big up to everybody in the chat, big up to everyone watching at home. Big up to Perchy, thanks for jumping on, man. How are you doing, man, buddy?
Yeah, all good, mate. All good. Football's crap, but at least we had a good Christmas and New Year's. It's gonna come around the corner, and then we start the new year and have to do this all over again.
Oh, dearie me, what an end to the year, eh? Thanks
Yeah,
for jumping on, mate, and
my pleasure.
thanks for putting the quiz together, what we're going to do later on in the show.
Absolutely
And
fine, mate.
Eugene, how are you, man? How are you?
Thanks for having me on, Dan. Nice to meet up with you, Nige, and of course, Perchy. Long time no see. Merry Christmas to everyone, and Happy New Year to everyone in the chat. Right, I'm doing okay. It's 3 a.m. in Malaysia now, so it is what it is. Right.
Cheers, man. Thanks for jumping on. And Nige, how are you, buddy?
I'm good, mate. It's another day in Spurs, isn't it? It never gets any easier. And what do we think? Postecoglou or Gross? I kind of fancy Gross. How are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm okay, mate. I'll tell you what, I went to the cinema today with my two boys and watched Sonic the Hedgehog 3, and that was more enjoyable than that rubbish yesterday.
He defends better than we do.
Huh?
He defends better than we do. I've heard. You'd have him at right back, wouldn't you? You'd have Sonic at right back, definitely.
It would do. It was a good little film, actually. It weren't bad
Don't
at all.
pull a hamstring either, does it?
Yeah, exactly.
Perchy, I'll have a hedgehog for our manager.
Yeah, I mean, I'm at this point where you go to a zoo and just pick up an animal and go, look, you're in charge for the weekend. It's like, but yeah, we'll probably delve into that shortly.
Yeah, it's got that bad, isn't it? Anyway, Happy New Year to everybody here and watching at home. And please remember to subscribe to us all, myself, Nige, Perchy and Eugene. That would be great. Thank you very much. Me and Nige are on the road to 500. So yeah, we're getting there slowly. So any help with subs tonight, it'll be fantastic. Thank you very much. Right, guys. Look, let's get into it. Let's talk about that game against Wolves yesterday. Oh, such an underwhelming performance. Let's start off with Perchy. Just give you a kind of short summary of the match and thoughts on it.
Short summary, simple, right? I think I'll keep it really, really simple with this. This manager is crap. Like, I'll start it at that. I can't stand this manager. I don't care what people think. I just can't. I'll leave it at that. You watch the game and you go, do you know what? For parts that I thought the first half, I thought we didn't deserve to go 2-1 up. I thought it was a very even first half. I thought we went 2-1 up and I went, do you know what? You probably take it. Some missing a penalty. Let's probably not delve into that because that guy is done as a top level football player right now. Credit for what he's done at this football club, but he's not a top player anymore. I think he's devoid of confidence, devoid of quality. You know when you used to watch Son, like back when he came in, he was a burst of energy. You'd watch him, he'd be taking on players, pressing, and he was brilliant. Now you look at him and go, where does he fit now with Tottenham? I think that's the one I always now that it's like you're shoehorning Son to play somewhere in a role that he's not suitable. But we'll park that for 1 second. We'll carry on the game quickly. And you go 2-1 up half time, and I said it on my reaction was you go 2-1 and go, do you know what? Probably didn't deserve to be in front. We didn't deserve to be behind in the first half, but you take it. I thought it was a very even first half. And second half, I watch us play and I go, do you know what? I said it before. I said it at half time. I said we'll either win 4-1 or we won't win the game. It will be one of those. It won't finish 2-1 is what I saw implying. I think I said it would either win 4-1 or lose 3-2. And everything that I thought was going to happen in that second half happened. You want a team when you watch Tottenham play. Bear in mind we've got bag load of injuries. We've been playing every 3 or 4 days, or give or take recently. Really tough period with a load of injuries. And you want a manager. Most managers will go, do you know what? What are we going to do? Let's just take the sting out of this game. Make Wolves work for it. We're in front. We've got the upper hand. We're in front. We're at home. Take the sting. I'm not talking about negative football about putting 11 people behind the ball, because that's always the mantra whenever you say, look, I just want a bit of control in art. Simple short passes, retain possession, make Wolves come at us. And then what you will naturally find is Wolves are trying to push higher and higher to win the ball back, that there's space out wide and we can exploit it. Teams do it to us all the time. Just exploit those wide areas when they're pressing higher and higher on us. No, not Tottenham. We're making dangerous passes down the middle throughout all that second half. And João Gomez was going, I'll have that every single day, because I will stop that all second half. I thought he was brilliant second half, João Gomez. I thought he was really good second half. He was putting out fires and we were creating those problems our own selves. We lose the ball, and every sort of 5-10 minutes into it, I went, Wolves are getting more joy on here, more and more joy. That goal's coming. The goal's coming. And lo and behold, the 87th minute wasn't even a bit of quality. That's the painful thing, I think, for me, that annoys me about this game more than anything. If they hit a 40-yard screamer at the back, 40-yard screamer, you go, do you know what? Fair enough. If you've hit an absolute worldie to go and put yourselves level on this game, nah, easy. For me, tactical naivety. I know I've rambled on a bit. I will shut up now.
It's fine, man.
But that's kind of where it feels for me. There's no game management. Like when people talk about changing and stuff, I don't want a manager to sit there and go, all of a sudden I want us to play super defensively and sit back. I just want us to go, do you know what? We've got a lot of injuries. We've had a lot of games recently. Let's take the sting out of the game. Nah, not Tottenham. Let's play. I use the analogy in my reaction. We play like a team 1-0 down in a cup match with 10 minutes to go from minute one.
Yeah.
Where it's like we're always chasing an equalizer in a game all game. And it's like that isn't sustainable in any capacity.
Yeah, man, that was a good summary of the game. Very similar to myself. We'll get on to what I think about it at the end after I've gone over everyone. Tonight's show, I didn't say at the beginning, is it's a bit of a free for all, really. Anybody wants to jump on and have their say on Spurs, please do throughout the evening. It'll be good to hear from people how they're feeling. Got someone else jumped in. Let's have a look. Scott's jumped on. Big up, Scott. How you doing?
Hey guys,
big up,
how's
Mark.
it going?
Yeah, Scott. Hey, big up, Scotty.
Great to have you on, man.
Merry Christmas.
Scott, thanks for coming on, man. First time on the show. It's nice to have you on, buddy.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I've watched you, and I've been watching Nigel with his channel as well. So good to have a chance to come on and get on your channel. I think it's the first time I've been on with Nige. I'm sure we've interacted in the chats before, and Mark, it's been a while since I think I've been on a show with you as well. So good to see you.
Yeah, man.
Eugene.
Hey.
Yeah, great, man. Great to have everybody on tonight, man. Yeah, let's get into it. Mark, thank you for jumping on as well. How are you, buddy?
Same shit, different day, innit? That's, it is. Game yesterday.
What's your thoughts on it, Mark?
I honestly put us down to lose in the online predictions. I got no confidence of us winning a single game anymore. No, it doesn't.
So we're going to be relegated, right, Mark?
Well, I don't think. No, the good thing is, I still believe there's 3 worse teams than us.
Luckily.
Yeah, luckily. Yeah. I mean, I think the 3 at the bottom at the moment are going to be the 3 that's relegated. Southampton. Yeah, well, basically the 3 that come up. And this.
Ipswich beat us at home.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Don't forget that.
Mark, isn't that such a thing though? Like I'm at the stage where when I hear people are going to get relegated, so we're not going to get relegated because we will win enough games not to. But do you know what annoys me the most? This is how this guy gets a caveat, and it's mad how standards have gone from up here to down here now. Like, to the point where we're basically like people going, oh, we're not going to get relegated. Like that should even be a conversation for a club like Tottenham Hotspur. Is mental.
No, you got to remember we built a £1 billion pound stadium
to challenge at the other end of the table. Allegedly. You got to caveat that with allegedly we built the £1 billion stadium
we built that
challenge.
we built that £1 billion stadium, right? Not to challenge for the Premier League. We're going to build it to challenge for the Championship.
Well, obviously, it'd be the best ground in the Championship. No, that's not happening.
We're Spursy that we wouldn't win the Championship. We'd finish second.
And that too.
We're so Spursy, we'd finish second and not get a trophy that way.
We'll go via the playoffs.
Why not?
Via the playoffs. Down at Wembley.
I wouldn't trust us in the final, Wembley in the playoff final.
What's our club come to, eh? What's our club come to? And Rintik, sorry if I pronounced your name right. Nice to meet you, buddy. I've seen you watching the show a few times. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Nice to have you on. You're always in the
All
chats.
good, mate. All good.
How are you? What's your view on the game, buddy?
I didn't watch it. I was busy driving go-karts and stuff with my team, so.
You didn't miss much.
But in general, I felt like during the whole season, I felt like in the summer, I've been Ange out, like even before the season started. I felt like a lot of people were like, we're going to win trophies and stuff. And it went from trophies and now being like, yeah, injury this, injury that, and whatever. It's like we find excuses to everything. It seems like, well, ain't there like a stats like we have won more games without Mickey and Kuti than we have won with them or something like that, and people still blame injuries. It's mental, in my opinion.
No, it's not good enough at the moment. Anyway, thanks for jumping on, buddy. Nice to meet you. And let's go to Eugene. What was your thoughts on that match yesterday?
My thoughts on that match is like it's happening again, deja vu, right? I know. Ever since that 10-game winning streak, I was supposed to have hope, but the wheels fell off. And he's been found out, and he's stubborn, right? What can I say? I was doing a watch along for the game, and I keep shouting the same things over and over again. Why are we so wide open? But in this game, I did see him change a bit. And he sat back this time. I don't know whether he sat back, right? Or our players were too tired to attack. Don't you see, guys? Our players look so tired. They can't go forward quickly and all that. And when you're tired, right, mentally, you're tired too. So, yeah. The body can't take it. The mind can't take it. So,
I mean, there's Eugene's right, but there's a reason why we've got so many injuries with hamstring injuries, by the way. Do you realize? Does anyone actually realize how many hamstring injuries currently right now we've got? Does anyone know?
I already said it in his first season, right? I see the way he plays, right? I said VDV is going to be his hamstrings going to pop, right? And imagine not only his now, everybody's hamstrings popping one by one.
Eugene,
I don't know what he's doing in training.
Eugene, I'll list it out. Romero, hamstring injury. Van de Ven, hamstring injury. Udogie, hamstring injury. Odeber, hamstring injury. That's just 4.
Davis as well.
There's one more, actually. I think there's one more.
Davis.
Davis. Sorry, Davis is the other one that's got a hamstring injury. I knew there was 5. I couldn't remember the last one. 5 players have hamstring. That what anyone says to me about our medical team, yeah, we've got our medical team's crap. We've known this for a long time. But do you know do you know what the worst part about it is? No one acknowledges it, and I'm assuming you're going to show it in a bit, but if you're not, I'll mention it now. Like, when the report that came out from when Ange was at Celtic, that this came up when he was at Celtic, like, and it's constant. But I don't know what it is, right? There's things that I'm not on Twitter anymore. I've got rid of that absolute garbage app, but I'm seeing screenshots in group chats of 78% vote that they support this manager. I watched Sean's video. If anyone watched Sean's video earlier, big up Sean, by the way, at Spurs Talk Show, top guy. His video this morning that he put out was a great video because there was no editing. It was I'm walking around with a camera and a microphone. I'm just gonna talk to.
The video's come out?
Huh?
Yeah. That video's come out, right? I want to
Yeah,
watch it. Put it.
he put it
You
out.
can share the
yeah,
link in
it's
the chats. You know,
Oh yeah, I'll put it in somewhere. But he
in
put out his
private,
videos
private
and
chat.
he just went up to random people and asked them for their opinion on Ange and the ownership, right? Because and I get why he done it. He done it and blowing smoke. I bet on it. But I'm saying like it's quite interesting because we all live in a microcosm of YouTube and YouTube opinions and stuff. But there's such a wide vast of fans and stuff. Like, fans like what we're doing with this manager. Fans like it. Whether you've got this, I didn't realize that there was this big love for this man. I knew there was a section of fans that love this guy, but there is a big following that go, just give him to the end of the season. Why? We right now, and I heard it on a show. I heard it on a show and stuff, and people were going, but you've got to give him until the end of the cups. Well, hang on, if you get rid of him now and getting a competent manager in right now, you're getting a competent manager right this second.
Chance.
You have half a chance of beating Liverpool over 2 legs. We don't have a chance with this guy. That's just my opinion on it.
I agree with that. No chance.
Okay, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Right? It's all the manager PTSD.
Yeah,
Right? I think about 80% of fan base has got
I agree.
manager PTSD. They're all afraid. Against, you know, it's post-traumatic. That's why I keep telling you, right? I've been a Spurs fan for 40 years, right? And I think Mark will be. I mean, the rest of us, I'm not sure how long you've been a Spurs fan. I've seen
50 odd for me.
And you calling me a
Yeah,
40-year-old? I take offence to that one, my friend.
50 odd for me, Eugene.
I'm not too far away.
Now,
I saw us get relegated, Eugene.
yeah, I know. That's why I don't know. That's why Mark, you might be lucky getting see us get relegated again. The thing is, right? To tell the truth, right? Those who are discontent now, right, in the discontent mindset, right? We are in the minuscule minority. We are not even minority. We are in a minuscule, minority. After what that video, because Sean did talk about it on Sava's review show yesterday. So that's why I'm waiting to see what kind of I need to watch that. Man.
It's a good one. I'll put it in the link for if anyone wants. It's a good watch.
Scott, I want to hear about what's your thoughts on the game yesterday. I haven't heard what you thought.
I'll steal your thoughts on the game, Dan, because I saw your video and I think it said right about it was a hard fought draw, and it's honest. We had to work really hard to get a draw at home against 17th place Wolves, and I think it said it perfectly, and that's where we are. It wasn't, I thought it was I think you're in the same group, right? I said it was a horrible game to watch. I thought both teams, especially the first half, I said both teams looked like they were bottom of the half table teams. It looked like a game between two bottom of the half table teams, and that's what's the most concerning, I think, for me, is that we're not in 11th place by bad luck. We're not in 11th place as much as people want to say by injuries. We deserve to be in 11th place. When you watch us play, we look like a bottom half of the table team. And I think that game against Wolves showed it. It wasn't like we got lucky or we got unlucky because Jose Sa had a great game and was stopping all these chances. We didn't create very much. We didn't look marked any better than Wolves did. And I think we had to work hard to get that draw, which was probably a fair result for both teams. I don't think we deserve to win. I don't think, and again, it's not, Wolves weren't great. I thought they looked like they had 17th place side, but what's concerning for me is we don't look like we deserve any better than we're getting this year. We don't look like a team that is ready to break out and go on that run. Because I hear people talking about, we're only so many points away from 6th or so many points away from this. The problem is there's about 5 or 6 teams that we have to jump to get to those places, rather not just make up the points. There's so many teams, and I don't know how anyone can sit there and tell us that we're going to play better than all of those teams. There's no chance we are. We were in 11th place. We deserve 11th place.
Yeah.
And I don't see any signs or reasons to think why, under Ange especially, that we are going to improve.
I totally agree, man. Totally agree.
My fear is, right, what I see now in the way that we're playing, right, we look like a championship side. We look disorganized. We look like when we got the ball, we do not know what we're doing with it, right?
No.
Come on.
I disagree with you on that, because we don't look like a championship side, because I see championship sides that actually look structured. I see there are teams in the championship that are much more organised than we do.
Apart from Plymouth.
Yeah, apart from Plymouth, but
Oh yeah, Wayne Rooney's there.
it's true though. Like you watch some teams in the Championship go, they'd give us a good game. Like I think there's teams that give us a good game in the Championship.
Honestly, it's just God's honest truth. I'm not even looking forward to the FA Cup game away at Tamworth, artificial pitch. If they won, it wouldn't surprise me.
Oh, we will
amazing.
We will beat Tamworth, but where you look at and go, we should be battering teams like Tamworth.
Well, of course we should.
But it will be a we will win 3-1, but they'll score first kind of thing.
Yeah,
I think we're back at Tamworth. I think we'll win like 5 or 6-0, and it'll be we're back.
Right?
We are back.
But yeah, we will laugh at this. But to be honest, right, we should be showing our youth out there against Tamworth. The first team shouldn't even be near that game.
Yeah.
No.
We had quality. What the fuck are we talking? Oh, sorry, can I swear?
Done it now.
Yeah.
Well, it's too late now.
Yeah.
No, seriously, what the F are we talking about, right? Remember when Arsene Wenger used to play against teams like that, right? I still remember. What was it in the 90s or something, right? He'll put out like 8 youth team players and they will still get through it. Like Liverpool won last season the Carabao Cup with a youth team.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry,
Let's be fair with it all, right? If Alfie Dorrington hasn't had a game of football yet, starting, what makes anyone think he's starting in that game? I mean, right now, like, did you hear Ange's comments, by the way? Did anyone
I don't
hear
listen
Ange's?
to them.
After the game?
I don't normally, but I heard this one specifically. Did anyone hear what he said at the end of the game? Why about with Dragoshin? If I was Alfie Dorrington hearing that, I'd be going, "Get me out of here. This guy ain't for me. Why should I be? What was the point of me being?"
What did he say, Perchy?
Basically said is that he has no other defenders. That's why he had to play a half-fit Radu Dragoshin. Imagine being, and I hate the narrative about why we can't play kids in our team. Why can't we? Everyone else does it. I look at Liverpool. Liverpool's the best example. They have a right issue. What happens? Connor Bradley's in. They've got a centre half issue. Kwanzaa goes in. Look at Man City. They played that centre half that played against us. He goes in. Lewis came through when them. You look at when Man United played that. He's there now. Kamwala. I may have butchered his name, but you know what I mean. The young French lad that played at centre half for him. Everyone else does it except us. But there's an excuse all the time. Oh, we can't just throw in a centre. He's older than Archie Gray.
Do you know? Do you know? I said this on our channel, right? I said if I was May Dorrington, I'd be like, hang on a minute, Archie Gray, who's allegedly a number 6 midfielder, has got a position in the defence. I'm a defender. What the hell's going on here?
Yeah, I
You know
agree.
what I mean?
I agree. You've got
Literally.
And do you know what the crazy thing about it is, Mark? And the crazy thing about it would actually take a lot of weight off of Ange's shoulders if you put in him. People think, oh, well, you're dropping in it. You can't drop. But let's be fair. All of us here, we're reasonable people. You put in a young lad in his debut, you're not going to be on his back if he makes a mistake. You go, do you know what? It's his first game. If he makes a mistake, And you could argue the same with the likes of Archie Gray, but I think people get on more on his side because we paid a lot of money for this kid. This isn't a kid making his debut. This is a kid we paid £40 million for. That gets you in, right? You start at £40 million, right? I think it's. I just think I don't get it. What does that kid have to do to start a game of football when we're crap at the back anyway? This is now the 3rd defender this man has put in that isn't fully fit. Let that sink in, by the way. He did it with Romero and Van der Ven, who weren't fit. He's now done it with Dragoshin. He's come out and said it about Dragoshin.
Yeah.
This guy, the problem is with Ange right now is whether or not we hear the nonsense of the, he's under no pressure. He clearly is. Because if he was under no pressure, he would have started Alfie Dorrington. If he wasn't under pressure and he knew he was not under pressure.
Have you noticed at the end of every game, the camera always goes to Levy in the stand and it always goes straight back to Ange.
Yeah.
And so, and put it this way, right? the bookies,
The media is trying to link it up.
the bookies are very rarely wrong. He
Yeah,
isn't
exactly.
favourite for the chop for no reason whatsoever. You know what I mean? I mean,
we're going to get into it tonight. We're going to be talking about that, you know, because
There'll be whispers
time's
about
up
that.
for
There'll be
me
whispers.
with Ange. But look, we'll get into it. Nige, we haven't heard from you about the game. What were your thoughts, mate?
It was a typical Spurs. My concern is at the moment is I was never concerned about our home form. It was always like we'll win enough games at home, we'll be fine. We'll lose away because we're crap away. But that's 5
4 games
now
in
without a
row.
win at home, isn't it?
Mm.
And I
Yeah.
was speaking to my son earlier on, and I was like, if we lose to Newcastle and Arsenal, we seriously could be in a relegation battle. And he's like, oh, don't be silly, Dad. And then we looked at the table. It's like, actually, Leicester, Ipswich, Southampton, we'll probably be fine.
Yeah.
But we just had no control in the game at all. That's what the biggest concern for me. It was there was no control. It was like a basketball game, and I just want my team to put their foot on the ball for 5 minutes and just play football. It doesn't have to be 100 miles an hour. And yeah, you could see that Wolves equaliser coming a mile off.
Nige, it spells, isn't it? Like that, I think is the worry for me. Is most managers go, let's just have a spell where we take the sting out for a bit.
Mhm.
It doesn't have to be all the, even if it's a 15-20 minute, like into the second half. Go, do you know what? 15-20 minutes. Take the foot off. Let's slow it down. Control it for a bit. We can go a little bit attacking at the end if we have to. We just don't have any change in our game. You never watch us and go, nah, Spurs are just taking the foot off the gas for a little bit here, but we never do.
No composure either.
Yeah, I agree.
You know,
Did you notice? Did you know? Well, I know we got beat anyway, but did you notice in the Liverpool game, like when they were 5-1 up and we got a couple, Liverpool thought, "Hang on a minute,"
Yeah,
and they changed up a gear, got another one, and thought, "Right, that's enough now." Because let's face it, in that Liverpool game, if they'd scored 10, it wouldn't have been a disgrace because they could have done.
Oh, 100.
If they wanted to,
But
insert a number. If Liverpool wanted to, they could have scored that many.
But do you know what do you know what the really irritating part of that was when we scored those goals? All I heard after was valiant fight back. Liverpool had stopped playing. They went, we'd done it. Half of them were in the. They'd already thought about what they were having for dinner tonight, and then they went, "Oh crap! Spurs have scored a couple here. We better kick." Then they just went, click of a finger, we'll get the fifth goal. The sixth goal. Sorry, click of a finger, we'll get the sixth. And you're right. If Liverpool wanted to, that could have been the biggest, highest scoring game in Premier League history.
Yeah, definitely.
Slot went, do you know what? Kill the game here. We're done. We're done at half time. We let's take a rest. We've got a big game coming up. We don't need we're done here. And you're right. If they wanted to. This is how many times have we got to get battered by Liverpool for people to go, do you know what? We got battered last season by them at their place. Remember that? We were 4-0 down in what?
Oh, yeah.
We were 4-0 down in now, and it was over. Like, the game was over half time. We were 3-0 down at half time, or whatever it was. Someone in the chat will confirm it. And then we got those two goals back, and everyone else, valiant comeback. No, it ain't. Liverpool just put they done the job. And it was like a carbon copy of that game at Anfield last season, it felt like.
I'll tell you what I couldn't believe, right? Now, someone posted it on their show. It might have been Sava, but there was a poll in the chat. What would you rather? 6-3 against Liverpool, where we got annihilated, or 1-0 boring Conte ball, but we win.
That was a
6-3 Liverpool.
From Cody Mack. Posted it on Twitter.
Yeah, he
it was Cody. Oh, all right. Yeah, but unbelievable.
Look, my view on it is. Sorry, go on. He was going to speak.
I was going to say, to be honest, I actually don't believe that Conte was that boring. It was more about like what could he do with the players he had. Yeah. And my point is always like, if you look at his Inter team, he went from Hakimi to Emerson, and he went from like Barella to Højbjerg and Bastoni to Eric fucking Dyer and stuff. So
he tried his best, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's my point, and he
got the best out of the players, right? That's the problem now with Ange. He's not getting the best out of anybody.
Not improving players, is he? Not improving
Apart from
anyone.
maybe
No, I actually think he makes some worse. And I felt like, no, I'm not even joking. And I forgot who I talked to, but yeah, it was a Spurs mate of mine, and I said, you don't know someone's position until like they're older, maybe. I don't mind playing Archie Gray as a right back, but at least make it like a back four like you did at Leeds. Don't make him invert and stuff. Make him like comfortable in his position.
I agree with you, man. Definitely. Look, it's a mess. It's a mess. Look, my view on the game is we were just aimless. Our attacking play was absolutely aimless. In that first half, we went 2-1 up. You know, Son missed his penalty, but so you're thinking the second half comes on. You know, we need to get another goal, to get another couple of goals. Make this. We're playing against Wolves, like they're near the bottom, right? They're not a good team.
Exactly.
And
we sat back against them.
Which I don't understand it. I don't understand. Our patterns of play have disappeared. People are aimlessly running, working hard. Solanke's holding up the ball, but Solanke, where is the quality? You know, it's all well and good working hard and holding the ball up, but for me, it's just they look like strangers on the pitch.
Yeah,
the team. They look like I thought they put in a lot of energy, and I saw them working hard, but without any kind of aim or goal. And it was just an absolute joke that, you know, when you don't play well, sometimes you just got to see it out, right? You see it out, 2-1, take it and move to the next one. We couldn't even do that, guys. Could we? We couldn't even. And Wolves didn't even have many chances. And they upped their game a bit in the end of that second period of the second half, where they pushed a bit. And we try to play him on the counter attack. But when you bring on the likes of Werner, again, rubbish, isn't he? Werner, oh my gosh.
Second half grew in confidence.
They did.
They grew in confidence. They went, do you know what? We can get something here. And then manager looked at it and changed it up a bit. They got injuries. They lost Cunha and Bellegarde. What do? They went, do you know what? We'll get that. I can't remember the fella's name. That 4-day or whatever his name is. I can't remember his name. Came on. He was
on the left against Porro, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was.
Porro torrid time.
And then they put the big boy up top in Larson, Strand Larson, and went, do you know what? We'll just get that to him. He's the focal point. Get it to him, and we'll try and. That's one Forbes. Big up Ryan. That's what. Just get that ball out to Larson, and he caused so many problems. He's a good player.
Look, it was just
they lost their.
Sorry, go on, Scott.
They lost their best player in Matías Cunha and got better in the second half because the manager changed what they were doing and said, we've lost Cunha. We have to change something. I'm going to bring on different players, change the way that we're playing, have a better attack against Spurs, and got better, which is something we have not seen in 18 months. Not see if it would have been us doing the same thing, we would have just put on a different player that doesn't have the same skill set, but tell him to do the exact same thing that the other player was doing.
Yeah, well, we've only got one way of playing. You know, there's never any changes. All right, he changes players, but they're expected to do exactly the same. And did you notice as well, Matt Doherty looked like Maldini.
He made a good challenge, didn't he? Against Son.
He had a couple of good moments, but he didn't do much. And the thing is, they nullified us.
Yeah.
That second half, they nullified. They went, do you know what? They're tiring that. Their manager, it's amazing, right? How many more managers have to see how Tottenham play in 45 minutes and go, we figured them out? How many more? Gary O'Neill won his first game against us. Figured us out in 45 minutes. This new fella, already forgotten his name. Pereira, so that's his name. The Brighton guy figured us out in 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Managers, I'm not even talking about the Pep Guardiolas. I'm talking about young managers who this is maybe their first, second, or third job in the time are going, we'll figure Spurs out in 45 minutes. Mm-hmm. Players at the end of games. Again, we're not even talking of Mo Salah's here. Yes, he said it. The other fella the other day, the Forest guy, Elanga went, we knew exactly how to beat Tottenham. That, for any other football club, that is alarm bells that every other team is going, we know how to beat them.
To be honest,
At Spurs, we go, it's okay. It's just how we are, mate.
to be honest, it was the Wolves manager last year that said on national television
Gary
how
O'Neill.
to. him.
Yeah,
He said
Gary
it.
O'Neill's. He told the world how
Yeah.
to beat Tottenham. And normally, most football managers, and when I say real managers, competent, not ones you buy off Wish, football managers from Wish, it's like proper football managers go, crap, everyone knows how to beat Tottenham.
Mhm.
Everyone knows how to beat Tottenham. And the thing is it's funny, isn't it? Because when Tottenham win, we win very well. We can win games of football convincingly. But notice when we do win games convincingly, that is always the metric. It's never the overriding thing. How do everyone seem to look at us and go, all we've got to do is go, move you there, we'll beat them now. It's like it's mad. It's actually insane.
I don't know how Ange is still in the job after that. It was absolutely rubbish. Just bring in Has. Evening, Has. How are you doing, buddy?
I seen you in the chat, mate. I saw you in the chat, mate. I was waiting for you to make an appearance.
What's your view on the game
I knew
yesterday?
you'd be on.
We've got to wrap up. We're going to wrap that game up shortly and move on to the Ange. And we got to fresh it out, man. We got to question this. Has, what's your thoughts on the game yesterday? Probably similar to all of us.
But pretty boring. I mean, he says we need to be entertaining, but that really wasn't entertaining. I don't think, to be honest with you. Just same old crap, really. The team doesn't look like it's cohesive at all. Our players are dead on their feet because we run. He basically makes them run too much, and the problem is because Danny was telling me that we have the highest or one of the highest running stats in Europe.
Yeah.
So like if we were running and actually running with a purpose, I'd be more like praising in that statistic. But because it seems like our players are running around aimlessly, at least that's what it looks like to me. I can't really sit there and praise it. And Ange is at fault for a lot of these injuries. I mean, Perchy said about the 5 hamstrings. There's this quote from his time at Celtic when he said he didn't care about players getting injured. So. Yeah, and the game was rubbish, man. It was rubbish. Yeah.
You know what it is, Has? This guy is the biggest. This guy is the biggest con man in football. I don't care what people might hate me saying it's true. He contradicts himself so much. Because I did a bit of digging. This afternoon. In February, he said, "I will never blame a defeat on an injury." He said that. I've got the screenshots of it. And now yesterday he went, "Oh, well, once we get our players back, we will be fine." He talks like all the idiots on freaking social media. When we've got our players back, we'll be fine. We've been doing this for 14 months, mate. Like, it's mental.
But he did that with Werner, remember? He said never publicly slate a player. A week later, he slated Werner.
Do you know what is Ange should have a YouTube channel because he talks so much waffle. He talks so much waffle that he'd get 100,000 views every show because he says what everyone wants to hear. Because now it's like he reads what everyone is. I'm adamant he's got burner accounts on Twitter because he reads everything. He must do because he says what half these lot will say. He says what half these lot say. When we've got players, when our players are fit again, we'll be fine. Hang on, you were saying what? You were saying 10 months ago, mate, that you'd never blame defeats on injuries. Which is it? 1 minute he says about he guarantees winning trophies on his second season. Next minute it was, he was just making a quote about it. Which is it? This guy just talks and talks and talks. As Mark said earlier, I've stopped listening to this guy.
Yeah.
I get transcripts when people send them in group chats and I read them off that. I can't watch this guy.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Here we go.
I just waffled anyway for like 5 minutes, so it's fine.
Mrs.
The missus is now trying to show her up. All right.
Mrs. Perchy's in the chat.
She is. The missus is in the chat.
Look,
trying to,
guys, let's just get into it. Let's get into Ange. Look, I saw something on Twitter today. Why keep Ange? And it was what made me laugh was because there's no one else. There's no other manager else out there, right?
So
God,
I
nobody
essentially
else.
bring it up because there's a Spurs account called Spurs Live. You guys might know it. I think he's even probably been on the show before or someone else's show before.
Oh,
I think it's
Josh.
Josh's
Yeah,
page.
yeah, Josh. Not
So you
really
know-
nice bloke.
Did you see his post yesterday? So he goes,
Nah,
Ange in or out? I wrote out. And then most of the people actually said in.
Really?
That's crazy, man. Honestly.
How many is that?
Most of Twitter still want him in.
Yeah, there's loads. If you
No,
look,
I'm
look
saying
at
just
what,
go to the post, and I was like flicking through the comments. Most of them was in. There was a few couple
but
more
we are
outs.
we are
I was in
Tottenham
the
TV.
minority.
We had Tottenham TV
Yeah.
put a post out, and it got 76% saying they want to keep
70%,
this
yeah.
manager.
Ah,
76%. That's for every 4 people, 3 of them want this manager.
why?
Brighton cocked it as well.
When
didn't
you
they?
hear why, so much of it is fear of another. Like you'll
Yeah,
hear this.
that
It's never
that-
anything.
Scott's right.
I've yet to hear a reason based on Ange is good at this. Ange is going to do this. It's usually, well, he might get better and we need time because Arteta had time. It's because are we going to be able to get a better manager? Nobody's going to win under Levy. Like it's all stuff that has nothing to do with Ange being good, but fear that somebody else might not be perfect.
No, Scott, you're right. Do you know what it is? You're absolutely spot on with that. When you ask someone using factual information, not emotion, not feelings, you go, tell me factually why we should keep this guy. No one can give me one thing because every single one of the statistics on this manager is fucking shit. Do you know what I mean? When you say so, this fella said back the manager properly. Why? This guy loses. We've won 2 league games in the last 10. That's a quarter of a season. 2 wins in 10. And what are we doing here? Other managers have been sacked for having far better records. We sacked Harry Redknapp for finishing 4th, remember? Well, no, we didn't sack him. We didn't renew his contract, sorry, is actually the
But it's
the
a
truth on it.
rebuild, Perchy. People are saying
Oh,
it's a rebuild.
Other managers with better.
The thing is, if you're rebuilding, you've got to rebuild from something. What are we actually rebuilding from?
No, Mark, it's just buzzwords, mate.
Yeah, of course it is.
1 minute we have crap players, like this fella in the chat saying, 1 minute we've got crap players, but all the people in the summer are saying, oh my God, with under this manager, I heard all the predictions in the summer was Champions League. We're gonna do a cup double this season under this guy.
Yeah.
But now
Third.
it's all gone.
I was hearing third. Third was mentioned a lot.
Like whether it was, I was negative for saying I think we'll finish 7th this season. I said I think we'll finish anywhere between 5th and 7th. I said it'll be one of those 3. I don't think we're good enough for the top 4. I think depending on how we get on in the Europe, whatever, irrelevant. But all I was told is you're negative for thinking that we're not getting it. This guy does it in his 2nd season. It's who he is. Now it's not happening.
Oh yeah.
Now it's So I'll let you. I'll shut up after this. The last thing I will say on this point is everyone tells me that this is on Daniel Levy, and Daniel Levy's the reason why Ange is 11th in the league. And I'll say this now: hang on. I want Daniel Levy out of this football club. I can't stand him. I think he's one of the biggest problems of this football club. But the way that you can destroy the argument is if Levy was the reason we're 11th. Why have every other manager before Ange Postecoglou not finished in 11th place? Name me the last manager to be 11th, and he got booted out and he won us a cup.
Yeah,
Ramos
was the last.
Well, let's face it, we've lost 9 games, and and it's not even in the new year. 9 games in the league. So far.
About the Levy thing, right? It's all Levy's fault. Right, because he hired Ange, and I've been saying it. Ange has been brought in to be a distraction and a deflection for Daniel Levy. There's something nefarious going on behind in our club at the moment. I don't know what. Right, it's got you got that kind of feeling. This is weird. Like any other manager has been sacked when he's that bad. The fans can see that he's that bad, but the thing is that I keep telling you guys, we are the minuscule minority. If you really want Ange out, right, did what you did to Conte. Did what you did to Nuno.
He was fourth when
Playing
they
Levy out in the stadium,
fourth.
right?
Look,
Or you
fourth in
do
the
that,
league.
but nobody wants to do it, Perchi. You understand? Like what you've been
We-
saying.
You know what it is?
Maybe
It's the
there's
standards.
19
We used to have standards here where we went, do you know
Right,
what? We
it-
don't accept it. Now it's on the floor. Standards are
Perchi.
so on
There's
the
no
floor
more
now.
standards. Don't you
No, we've
understand?
got one. Come on,
We
innit?
don't have standards anymore, right?
Yeah.
Our standards now, right, are different. Our standards now, right, is to go to stadium, enjoy yourself, get drunk, maybe get lucky, right? Spend
Yep.
thousands of pounds if you have it. We have a bourgeoisie fan base, bro. In the
You look at-
stadium, they're all bourgeoisies. Yes,
You
yes,
look
sir.
at
They've
Ben's-
got money in the pocket to burn.
You look
I'm
at
sorry to
Ben's
say.
comment. You look at Ben's comment in the
Yes,
chat.
yeah.
We are 3 games from equaling our defeats all of last season.
Yeah, it
Right.
says it all, but
Yeah, well, there we go. Right, and we've still got to go away to that lot, away at Anfield, away at Chelsea. Well, those are 3 defeats immediately.
Mark,
Okay,
we,
guys.
We're not going anywhere else.
we will lose 3
Maybe-
games
why
before
why
we
don't
get
we
to
do this now?
February.
Yeah.
We've got 19 games left, right? If we go
Yeah.
to each game and you think whether we can win, lose, or draw, right? And then we
We're
add
going to
up the
lose
points
most of our games anyway.
and see how many points we get. That's why I said we're in a relegation battle, guys.
Nah, we're not. We won't.
We
We're
are.
not.
We
We're
are.
not. We're
That's
not.
where we're
We're not.
heading.
No,
That's
we're
where
not.
we're
We're not. No. The one thing I will say, we're not getting relegated. We
No.
win
I
enough
didn't
games.
say we're getting relegated. I said we're
you know-
going to be in a relegation battle.
No. Because you got, in theory, look, what points are we on now? Someone must have it. What are we on?
23.
24, I think, isn't it?
24, right? Okay. So in theory, always say it's about 38 points as you're going down. So that's another 14. In theory, we have to win 4 games of football, right? In theory, right? I'm not. By the way, I'm not entertaining because we're not. There are 4 games of football Tottenham will win before we get to
Yeah.
the
Which
end
4
of May.
games do you think?
I said luckily there's 3 worse teams than us in this
But
league.
do you know what it is though?
I
What I
didn't
will
say
say
we
when
lost to
we
Ipswich.
Spurs, we lost to Ipswich. But we will go and beat teams like we will win 5 more games before the end of the season. I'm not
Yeah.
entertaining that one. But what I will say though, what I have said is though, this manager, if this manager had 14 other teams in this league, he relegates every one of those 14. And the 6 I always take out, I took out Spurs, Man United, Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal. So they were the 6. I think he relegates the other 14. Maybe I'll be kind. I don't think he would relegate Villa. So I think he would relegate 13 other teams in this league if he was manager because his tactics are awful.
The only thing I'll say,
You
Percy,
relegate all the teams.
we're not going to be in a relegation battle, but if people want to claim that we're in a top 4 battle, then we are in a relegation battle. That's the only, because we're in neither. We're not going to be challenged. People who still want to say we're X amount of points off, that's the only reason why I'd say we're not going to be at any risk of being relegated, but we're also not at any risk of being in the Champions League positions either. Let's not fool ourselves there. So.
We'll be at the top of the
nowhere.
bottom half by the
Going
end.
nowhere. We're going absolutely nowhere.
No, 19 games left. I can see us winning 9. I can see us losing 10.
What about this
And we'll be
injuries,
in a group
guys?
chat.
Since the game yesterday, have you seen anyone blame injuries since that game? Have you seen it? Because I hope not.
No.
Blame injuries? Oh yeah, lots of
You've
people
seen
blame
it.
injuries.
You've seen it, Scott.
Oh yeah,
It's
on
always
We Are
injury.
Tottenham TV, it's all they talk about. Injury
Oh.
crisis, injury crisis,
still-
injury crisis.
What
People
People in the
injuries?
chat
crisis.
said, "What do you expect him to do with all the injuries?" Oh,
What?
it's
It's just his
rampant.
tactics.
Brentford
my
have
days.
they
That'll
have
be
bunch of
changed.
injuries.
We'll never do
You know
that.
what I
So.
want him to do with all these injuries? Because everyone says, what can he do with all these injuries? And I'll address matey boy in the chat, by the way, who absolutely loves me, by the way. It's welcome. Make sure you're liking and subscribing to these amazing people, by the way, in the chat. My man, I'll come to you in a second, brother. But what I will say is, what I want from my manager, when you've got injuries, you go, do you know what? We can't do what we can do because we haven't got the players right now to do it. Let's change it up a little bit. That's what a good manager does. They go, do you know what? We overcome a situation, not go, oh, we'll just carry on doing it. It's like going, oh, do you know what? My supercar's broken down, so instead of me changing up what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna turn up in my Ford Cortina and drive around. It's like, what are you doing? Like, what you adapt to what
Yeah,
you're doing.
reverse ball in the track.
It's a bad analogy, but you sort of get my point, right? There's no adaptability. And I'll finish on this, and I will shut up because I have spoken a lot. Kavinsky Nightglow loves me in the chat. I'll address these 2 points because you've just said lies on here on the chat. I'm not accepting. One, I didn't hate Conte or Jose. I didn't hate either of them. I didn't like the style of play because for me, I thought it was way too negative. All I want is, whenever I hear this all the time, well, you didn't want Conte or Jose, you have to stick with this guy. No, I just want a manager that can do a bit in the middle. I don't want someone that basically throws the kitchen sink every 5 seconds. I equally don't want someone that sits 11 men behind the ball. There is a balance, right? I think that's the bit we always miss. Anyway, I'll leave my friend in the chat.
Can we just also address the fact that he acts as though you can't say that Levy and Ange are both wrong, right? He has that stupid idea. Oh, you're here just to deflect from Levy, as though Levy and Ange both, as though
two things can be wrong at the same time.
Let's have that conversation now.
Anyway,
let's have it now.
Levy out anyway. So how does that make any sense?
Yeah, let's have that conversation, guys.
Right?
Because of Levy, we can't sack another manager. Let's go through everybody. I want to hear everybody's opinion on that. There's no point sacking another manager. Let's do that. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first, right? I don't care, right? I've seen this over and over again. I've been doing this for so long, right? Like what I did, the rant on Dan shows, right? Okay, big up to Dan E, right? He sent over the Hotspur rate, right? Big up to all
he has. Yeah, big up Dan.
Right?
Big up Dan.
Guys, don't forget, right? Please subscribe to Nige channel, Spurs Vision TV channel, Hasper TV channel, Perchy TV, right? And Spurs TTDI. Rinkati, I don't think he has a channel. But guys, right? Please show some love, right? We'll just keep it all nice and decent, right? And talk about football, right? And the other thing is that with Ange, right? I've been saying I don't care. You know why? Because I've been saying this from that day, right? When they came up after those 10 wins and did that PR stunt, right? About we got a Tottenham back, we're allowed to dream, right? I shouted, Scott will vouch for that, and Has will vouch. I shouted this for so long. I don't want this fucking Tottenham back. I want a new Tottenham because this fucking Tottenham has not won the Premier League or the First Division at all in 60 over years, right? And the only cup we have is the Carabao Cup in 2008, 16 years without a cup. That's why I've been saying, if Ange wins the Carabao Cup, which of course we know he won't because we're playing Liverpool, right? We won't even have a chance to get the final, right? I don't care, I'll be Ange in, man. I got a trophy. I'll be celebrating. I'll buy a ticket. I'll fly to London. I'll be on that freaking bus, guys. But that's pipe dream, right? All I can say is now, it doesn't matter whether Ange in, Ange out, right? The message out there has still to be Levy out.
Yeah.
That's so simple. This divide came, right, last season, right? And I'm going to talk about the Telpage. But you remember when you said all the contradictions he's talking about? He's a con man, right? I'm calling him the entertainment manager now, right? He's no more a football manager. He's an entertainment manager. The other thing is, right, the other thing he liked, right, he put a wedge into the fan base is during the game that we were playing against City and the Arsenal debacle, that frigging fiasco he created, right? And then he can fucking go and tell us at Brighton he couldn't do anything, we didn't deserve to win. Are you trying to build a winning mentality? You telling us during that time you were trying to build a winning mentality and telling me this bullshit? And you come up with bullshit of I'm comfortable in conceding. When you say comfortable in conceding, right? Romero is gone, Vicario is gone. Defenders need pride, guys. They need a clean sheet, right? That is their pride, being a defender, like a striker when you score goals. Ange can fuck off for it, okay? Ange can stay, okay? But Ange, right, if he wins us the trophy, my God, I don't know.
You go down in history.
It's not happening, man.
Yeah, he's going in history, man. He will relegate us, win a trophy, and get sacked.
I'm at this stage now when I hear about backing a manager. And I'll go out on a limb and say this. This is the first manager I don't want another penny given to. I can't stand him that much that I don't want us to go to January going, oh, we're going to buy this player, this player, this player for him. No, I don't want this manager here. And if I have to be very fair with I say this, because I don't want this manager here. I don't want him given another penny. I don't want another penny given to this manager.
Leave your sort that out.
Yeah,
Easily.
No,
but it's
no,
so
Virgie,
Spurs. It's so Spursy that he's going to back him, though. That's what's Spursy about it. He'll
no,
back one
Virgie,
of the worst managers we've had.
our transfer window policy nowadays, right? Not nowadays. It's been like this for so long. We do not buy quality players. You know why? Because we treat players like crypto. We hedge on them.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
So when you don't buy a player for their footballing quality, but the prospect of them becoming more expensive, and you sell them, but the worst part is that we don't sell them. We keep them until they turn into a Ben Davis.
But Eugene, do you know what it is? Eugene, you make a really good.
I love Son Heung-min, but it's so sad to say that. Son is gone. His style doesn't fit Ange ball. So please fucking sell him. If not, right, it's gonna break my heart.
Do you know? Eugene makes a really good point, and like I mean it when he's spot on. The problem what we do you know what the problem is? What we do is we spend money. We spend a lot of money actually for
badly.
No. We don't. It's not just badly. What we do is and what Eugene made a really good point.
It's the intention.
What we do is it's the intention on what we buy. And Eugene, as I said, spot on with it. Because when you buy an Archie Gray at £40 million, for £40 million, you could go and buy a decent number 6 that you go, do you know what? He drops in. But if you buy an Archie Gray, financially, you can spread that £40 million and that transfer fee over 10 years. Let's just say 10 years. Keep it simple. But if you spent £40 million on a 28-year-old that is perfect for our system, you only get that player for 2 years, maybe 3. So what you're doing is that's a. Do you see what I mean? If you buy, we buy players for long, whether or not we buy them for longevity. So we don't actually buy the here and now, the short term. What most football clubs do is they buy for the here and now, and they buy for the future. What we do, we buy our future now and play them for the present, which basically never will work out right, because that's what we do. When do we go out there and buy? I mean, you could argue we spent one on the likes of a Solanke, 27-year-old. So yeah, let's just say that. Whether or not I agree or disagree in getting a Solanke in, that's by the by. That was one player. Who else? Who was that 26, 27, 28-year-old? Werner doesn't count. He's a loan deal. Werner doesn't count, but I get the premise.
Though, to be fair.
I get the premise. Werner's another one. Fine, I'll let you have that one.
I don't want him, but I'm just saying he's on high wages.
No, Haz, I agree with you. My point is actually spending 50, 60, 70 million pound on a player that is at the prime of his career at 26, 27. When do we do that? You look at other clubs, they all spend 40, 50 million pound on that level of player, but we will buy that level of value on a 18, 19, 20-year-old, 21, 22-year-old, because we use it as a longevity platform. We've been doing it for a long time.
We never go in and buy a top player, do we? When do we ever go in the market and buy top players? We don't do it.
Who is the last world class player that we bought? I got my answer.
Bale when he came back.
Bale.
Are you having a laugh? Are you joking here?
No,
Bale was a kid. Bale was a child.
I said Bale when he came back.
No, but that was different though. Bale used us as a way to get fit for the World Cup. That was the reason, weren't it?
Philly's got the answer. Philly 2109 got the answer.
Yeah, that's Klinsmann.
Klinsmann.
And that was sugar days, bro.
How long ago was that?
Van der Vaart was the closest to that level, but we got him a bit too. We just got him a bit too late. You'd have wanted him a couple of years earlier, but yeah.
Didn't we get Edgar Davis?
Huh?
Who?
No.
But even he was kind of nearer to the end of his career.
Klinsmann is the last signing, and when we signed him, I went, "Wow, we mean business."
No, maybe.
What year was that, Mark? That was what? 1993, was it? Or
93, 94?
Do you
So
know,
I'll Google it.
I know
Billy said 94, 95. Yeah. I'll trust
Yeah.
Do you know what it is?
That era, and you're close enough.
we're talking about world class players. I don't even want world class players at this point. I just want
top
players.
isn't it?
I
Percher?
just
Top
Do you know what
players.
it is? I just want players that fit what we do. Where you go, you're in your prime, you will be perfect for this system. You'll come to us because you're playing at, let's just say, I'll give an example. Belieber, who's playing at Brighton. I'll use him as an example. I think he's the sort of player I'd love at Tottenham. He'd fit right into what we do. He's 2021, but he's a top player. I'll use him. There's loads of other examples. I'd like a Christian Norgard who's at Brentford. Tidy midfielder. I'm not sitting here saying that we have to go and buy Edison for Atalanta because I don't think we're in that market at the moment. We're not that team. The next team.
Oh, we lost Perchy.
Oh.
Frozen.
I just googled it. 94, 95.
Nige, I want to hear what you've got to say about this. You know, no point sacking a manager because of Levy. Nige, what's your thoughts on it, man? From you for a while.
Oh, for me, yeah, no, for me, there's absolutely a point in sacking the manager. 100%, he needs to go. You know, someone put a comment up, and I don't know how he meant this, but he said, you know that changing the manager won't change a thing. So what do you want? And I don't know whether he means as in Levy or as in the way we play. But if we brought in a new manager, he would put round pegs in round holes. We would tactically be better set up and we would get better results.
It's nice to see you been watching our channel, Nige. It's nice to see you been watching our channel because I'm always on about square pegs and round holes.
Sometimes, Mark, I feel sorry for you when I watch it. But anyway.
You don't get to say a lot of the time.
Because I'm not something to listen, so. Do you know what I mean?
No, I sack him tonight.
But Nige, we're still in the cups, though, aren't we? We're still in the cups. Don't sack him.
We'd have a better chance in the cups with a new manager, with someone who tactically knows how to set up a team, and you know we ain't beating Liverpool. We might beat them in one of the games, but we ain't beating them over two legs. As much as I know that sounds really negative, but I just can't see it. I just can't see it over two legs.
Look, let's completely debust this thing about not sacking Ange. Yeah, let's debust it. Yeah, let's destroy it. Go for it. Destroy it.
Like for me, like first of all, I've been Ange out since February, but let's take that away for a second. Like for me, it's like this manager just does the same tactics every single game, which is a problem in itself. Just bringing a manager that just changes based on the opposition immediately makes us 10 times better. This guy in the chat, this Glow guy, I can't tell him say his name. He always keeps saying about the quality players, blah blah. I don't even think our players are quality, right? But at the same time, I don't think they're like completely rubbish, right? We've got like mid-level, some good players, some average. Obviously, we have the really rubbish ones there as well. But I think we should be about 6th, 7th in the league based on that. And we're way behind that, right? So for me, someone who comes in with any bit competent, whether it's to do with changing the formation to a 4-4-2, even, I know it sounds stupid when I say 4-4-2, but what immediately makes us better. You put Johnson in the middle instead of on the right, you'll probably get more out of him. He's not a winger. You move Son into the middle instead of playing him on the left, you probably get more out of him as well. And I just think Ange is playing our players to their weaknesses as well. And this is what's hurting us the most. It's like he's picked all the players' weaknesses, told them to do that, and expect them to just click.
No, 100% agree, man. There's no excuse. We need to get rid of Ange ASAP. Does anybody else want to add anything to get rid of Ange now?
The only thing I will say is there's been loads of managers that have been sacked for a lot less at this club. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With a lot less. You know, I mean, why Levy has chosen this manager out of all of them to finally think, right, I got to back this one. You know, well, even if he has or not.
Seeing, Mark, what is anybody seeing that this is going to work?
No. Who is this? Who is this?
Can I just say, if this Kavinsky guy, if you're going to continue to be abusive, then you'll be kicked.
Well, no. I've already searched for him to boot him, but like he's in Eugene's channel, I think, because Eugene's sharing it.
Oh yeah.
It might be Perchies. Is it you?
It's, you know what? I like that we have
No,
fans like him because he shows
Yeah.
that the fans that are backing Ange have no critical thinking ability, right? He's already accused us that, oh, if you back Ange, that means you're backing Levy because he's too stupid to understand that we can have more than one thing can be wrong at the same time.
Yeah.
It's too hard.
Yeah, exactly.
It's too much
Bang
for
on.
him. So it's fine. And I feel bad for him. It's difficult to go through life when you can't think about more than one thing at the same time. But he shows it again. He says, oh, the players aren't good enough under Levy. We've been saying that for years under every manager. And yet, surprisingly, he's the only one that's getting us to levels that we haven't been at for 16 years. 16 years. But somehow it's Levy's the problem. The players were the problem under Poch. We all said that here. Everyone that I know, I can't speak for everyone. Percy, I heard talk about it. Mark, I've heard talk about it. We've talked about it. I assume Dan, Nige, and Rinketic were saying the same thing, right? But they never got down this low in the table. Conte had Eric Dyer, Davison Sanchez, Ben Davies, Emerson Royale. What's the other? Those players are amazing. He got us top 4. Like, let's stop being silly here. We all know Levy's the problem. None of the managers that had that same loser at the top had this much.
That's why I didn't say
Conte would have killed for this back 5.
Kavinsky, you're on my channel.
But Scott, what
you
you said
is,
hang on a minute.
They actually walk quickly out, by the way. So
Kavinsky, you're on my channel, right? Please don't.
Hang on, he's calling Scott an idiot now.
Yeah, I know.
Well, he said that I wanted Conte out. Like, everybody knows me here how much crap I get.
Scott wanted Conte out.
Just 1 second. What me and Scott said at the top of the show when we said two things can be wrong at the football club at the same time, and the second thing we said, Levy is the issue, but that doesn't excuse what other manager in recent times has had us with 9 defeats out in recent memory by we're not even in the new year and we've lost 9 games of football. Do you know what I mean? It's relevance, right? It's relevant. 2 things can be wrong at the same time.
Kavinsky, that is unasked. I really
hang on. Eugene, can you get rid of this fool out of your chat?
Yeah. I know. I'll time him out for a while.
Right, let's say hello to Dan. Big up, Dan, for jumping on, mate. How are you?
Oh, I'm all right, mate. Yourself?
How'd your show go?
Same Spurs, different day. Did everything come over?
Yeah, it did, mate. Thank you.
Yeah, good. Nice. That's the first time I've done it. I didn't know whether I'd do it properly, so it'd bloody work.
Did you have a good show, mate?
Yeah. Good calling. Had a brilliant guest on there. Had special guest from Belgium, young fella, Caesar, top man.
Yeah.
He actually had the bottle to show his face on there, which a lot of people don't. So credit to him.
Fair enough. So what we're doing, Dan, at the moment is debunking the theory of don't sack Ange. We're almost there now. There's obviously reasons that we shouldn't get rid of Ange because of this, that, and the other. But I know how you feel. Do you want to add anything to the debate?
The thing is, for me, it's just listening to what other people say as well. Other ones with their opinions, and I think with opinions, some people have actually made some fair points. It's like the aspect of what do we actually do? The man's got to go. No ifs or buts. But it's how do we go about it? Do we get rid of him now and buy a manager for now to try and scrimp and scrape what he can do for the rest of the season, and then he's got experience with the players and then goes into the following season? Or do we actually try and buy some players now to try and Ange saves his career, which I don't personally want to do? Or do we go and bring in a manager now to cover us for the rest of the season and then look for a proper manager? Or do we not buy anybody? There's a lot of ifs and buts with it as such.
Yeah.
I mean, me personally, if we could, I would want to drop this manager yesterday and get a manager in now who is going to be with us. He can obviously have a January transfer window, or if he misses that, he can at least train with the players and be ready for next season. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to be more like we're either going to hang on to Ange till the end of the season or get a part-time manager. But
Do you know what I do?
Pick him right out and get a manager in now.
Do you know what I'd do? I'd be straight down to Sandbanks in Poole and I'd be begging Harry Redknapp, come on back for 6 months. Just help us out.
There's nothing about that, though. I don't think that is going to happen. We were talking about that in the week, weren't we, Mark?
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to happen. He's not coming back into management. Now, what about this £30 million transfer budget? Does anyone believe it? Is this any truth in this? Where's the source?
I
Just
don't.
leave it with pay.
I'll be honest.
For transfers anyway.
Don't want another player bought for this manager.
Yeah.
I will leave it at that. That's my stand. I don't want another player bought for this manager.
Pointless.
You have to, right? Our defense is decimated.
But guys, there's nothing.
We've got Lynn with Branthwaite today, apparently. It's never going to happen. But we've got Lynn with Branthwaite, apparently.
Oh, we're linked with Jack Grealish. It's hilarious. It's. I urge everyone save every single one of these screenshots of all these players linked and see who we actually signed. It's hilarious.
He's not coming in under Ange.
The one who I could honestly see us getting, if we went for him, whether we get him on loan for 6 months, which I think would be the more ideal one. And he's a player that I loved at Inter for a very long time. And when PSG got him, I was pretty pissed off. Screener. PSG blatantly don't want him anymore. His contract.
Mourinho wanted him, and we got rolled.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I know.
Yeah.
But for 6 months, I think we could get him on loan. He's still as good a defender as anybody we've got, and he's also got experience as well. He's 31 now, I think.
Yeah, he's 30. Yeah,
he's still as good as anybody we've got.
You can't play a high
Can anybody except Van de Ven realistically?
So that's what I'll ask you.
When he was at Inter Milan, he's not the quickest, but definitely not the slowest as such. Yeah, I'd say he's on level with Romero on pace as such. And he's a very good tackler, good on his feet. He's excellent in the air. He's a very good defender. I know he'll have come down a level or two since he's been at PSG, but I think we could get him on loan for at least 6 months.
Is Skriniar the one that we won't pay his image rights? Is that the one?
Nah, that's Dybala.
Oh, that's Dybala. I was going to say.
What's his name? Went on holiday to Italy. I forgot the guy's name now. Basically, he went all these restaurants, came back, didn't come back with Skriniar. Basically, he went on holiday to Italy. I can't believe.
Someone's saying he's 29. I don't think he's 29. I swear he's in his 30s.
But let's look. Are we gonna? I'll keep it simple, right? Are we signing Skriniar? No, because he's a competent. He's a defender that will look. If you're going to get someone like that in, you're
Ange soon ruin him.
But regardless of that, right? You will be if you're going to bring in Skriniar, he's already on. He'll be the highest paid player at our football club. No. We won't pay the wages for a player like that. Well, and the only way you get a Skriniar in is if you say, "Well, we'll pay 50% of him."
Exactly.
He's 29. Yeah. He's 29 years old.
And even
at 50, I thought he was older. But he's not getting no game at PSG, and PSG have got the money to say, "Do you know what? If you at least pay 50% of the wages,
Tottenham
you can take him because it saves them."
How much is it?
And if it's 100 grand, well, they've done it with Timo Werner.
Okay, yeah, but I get
and they pay his full wages,
and he's entertaining.
It's only for 6 months. It's got Levy written all over it.
Dan, I can guarantee you he will not be in a Tottenham shirt by the 1st of February. He will go somewhere relatively. He's the sort of player that I could see going to somewhere like Saudi Arabia or somewhere like that, where they'll pay a load of money to him and he'll go over there for nothing.
Big payday.
But then what he does for there, he just stays with us for 6 months till the end of his contract, and then he goes over there for free and gets the whole lot.
Maybe I don't know. Look,
but I think of it. If you're talking that he's a mercenary, basically, like majority of football players are, if he's going to use any logic on his head, he's not going to go for the transfer now because they'd have to pay, let's say, 6-7 million for him because he's only got 6 months left. He can come to us, get his wages off of us, get his wages off of them, whatever. He won't care, and then go over to Saudi Arabia or Italy or back to wherever else. And what they would have paid for the transfer fee, he'll have it in his back pocket. It's common sense.
Yeah.
I rate you, Dan, because you've built that transfer in your head really well. I love I don't mean this in any bad way. You know, I've got a lot of time for you, mate. Like, you've built in your head, and then I sit back and go back to reality. Spurs, he goes somewhere else, and Spurs sign
Lloyd Kelly.
Yeah,
it's what happens.
Kelly sort of deal.
It's what we do, but
I know.
we've got more than the capability of doing that. And if it's for 6 months and he just wants time in football, he comes to the biggest league in the world. He comes to London. He's going to get money either way. He's going to get views and he'll get some football time. Or does he go over to Saudi and he'll also save his money and everything? It is possible we can do it. If we pay the full wages for fucking Timo Werner, pardon language, I think we'll pay half of his wages. We could do it. That is the thing. Whether we do or don't is the different story.
We could always do a lot of things this club. I'm so confused with the way everything about a Skriniar. By the way, I'll say it now. I agree with what you're saying. He's the sort of player I go, do you know what? If you had any level of let's salvage this, you go and get someone like that in. Which tells me why we will not do it. Because what we will do is we'll look at it and go, nah, we'll go and bring in, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a name off the top of my head and I can't think of one. Like, really quick and easy, we go, snap it in, you come.
Well, Perchy, we'll either go in for a player, right, which is cheap, right, and
longevity.
It's the profile, or it's another cryptocurrency punt again. So,
look at it another way then. With the money side of it, look at it another way then. And right, we all know Levy wants it cheap as possible. So what's going to be cheaper? Paying PSG, say 1.5 million, just example money, because it wouldn't be that expensive because they're not playing. And right, we put that up front and we say we pay 120 grand at like half your wages, over 6 months. Or does he go and get another shit player in and have to pay for the player, have to pay for his agents, and then have to pay for his wages and a signing on fee for the player?
Yep.
The loan for 6 months and the saving the money has got Levy written all over it. But whether we do that or not is a different story. Do I think he would come to Spurs? Yes, for 6 months. I don't see why not.
I don't. Look.
I think the kickback, right, and the Levy desperate for money, right? He'll do the expensive deal.
Right, just confused, guys. I haven't heard from Rentig for a while. What's your thoughts on this £30 million transfer budget? Is it? Just tell me how you. That's for me. It's not enough. And what's that going to get?
The thing is, like, Levy likes to pay, do like all kind of down payments anyway, so it won't matter. It's the truth. Like, Levy will give you like a bag of chips and like go-kart and whatever, and you can so like I don't think, well, because the other team might matter, but I don't think Levy would care about it. He might just go for some random English guy anyway, like we did with Joe Rodon like 2 years back.
But don't forget, this is why we built the £1 billion stadium. And so we could go out and get the likes of God knows who. But this time of year, it's always the Spurs bingo, as Brian Daigle likes to say. It's connect the bingo. Like, there's buzzwords like linked, monitoring, interested in, and you got to get the full house.
Inquiring.
Yeah, inquiring. That's another one.
Yeah. Before I need to go,
basically, guys, what we're saying, it's not helping this. It's not helping Ange if he stays. 30 million is not getting us anything. It's going to be loans.
No, in today's day and age, 30 million gets you nothing.
Yeah.
If you want quality,
you got to go.
Yeah, before I need to go, I want to say so. Brennan Johnson is the best striker than Solanke.
That's a good kid, right?
Pick up.
And sort of like drop the mic and disappear.
I believe, if I can just say, I believe the roadman, if he's still in the chat, put him up to that.
What? Yeah, probably. But what I would say, but you know, when we talk about 30 mil, and this is this thing, I don't believe half this crap half the time anyway.
Where's it come from? That
it's probably pulled up by some random person that's just made it up. Let's be fair, no one freaking knows.
Yeah.
No one has a clue. Like we can all
30 million. I think it might even be less.
but if all this is the thing, right? Everyone talks about, but he's
Cheap Chinese
obviously
transfer.
the manager is obviously under pressure if they're not going to go all out on this guy. Like, if you could, like, and that's why, look, I don't care. As I said, you know my thoughts. I don't want another penny spent on this guy. But even with 30 mil, if you're smart, get some deals with that. I'm not. By the way, I'm not justifying it. I don't want another player bought under this manager. If I was, do you know what this screams like? This screams of desperation. Well, let's buy players, but let's not go long. It'll be 2 or 3 loan players, maybe a player, as Dan said, the player that's not playing doesn't have to be Skriniar, but any insert player that isn't playing at the moment, get him in short term, and let's see out where we get at the end of the season, right? Let's see how we get on at the end of the season, and then we'll make a decision on this manager.
Why hasn't he been sacked yet, Perchy, in your opinion? Why hasn't he gone yet with these results, performances, the decline? What is it? Why is Levy keeping him?
Because as a fan base, we're not screaming for the roof to get this guy gone. Let's be fair. This manager, let's be fair.
Right.
We were getting battered by Liverpool, and our fans in the stadium were singing Ange Postecoglou. They're pulling our trousers down, spanking us like naughty boys, and our fans are singing this guy's name. So whether I want this manager here or not, as a fan base, we want to support this guy. So Daniel Levy, for all of his flaws, the one thing is he's a very, very smart man. Whatever I think about this guy will make a decision based on public pressure. When pressure happens, when the pressure cooker is turned up, decisions get made. Every time we sing this guy's name, people think it's in defiance of this manager. No, it's not. It's of this owner. What it is empowering. And that's what I say. It's empowering because this guy is a crap manager. I don't care what anyone says. This guy is a crap manager.
I think personally that Levy is keeping him because he knows if he gets rid of him, then the voices for his head is going to get ramped right up again.
That's the other part of it too. Yeah,
there's two sides to it. There's two sides to it. Levy is stuck in the middle more than he ever has been. If he don't get rid of him, there's going to be a lot of people turning. If he does get rid of him, there's going to be a lot of people turning. But you see with this 30 million transfer, if that's what we got, yeah, again, it makes perfect sense. Perfect sense. Why? Because what I said will think will happen or could happen is that he hangs on to Ange until the end of January, basically, and doesn't spend no money. Because people like Perchy, people like me, people like a few on here are saying we don't want this manager to have any money spent on him, basically. So, and he sacks him at the end in January and says, look, I tried to hold on to him as long as the fans wanted me to, but he's still losing 3-0. He's still losing to crap teams. I had to get rid of him for Spurs, but I also couldn't give him the money because I couldn't trust him. Bang, there you go. Levy ain't had to spend a bloody penny except the 4 million, 5 million he's just sacked Ange with. And then if he goes and slams 30 million on there, he's still tuppence money to what we do. Oh, I could only give it 20, 30 million because I just didn't trust him and that. I hung on to him and what. And plus, to land it all, Ange is Levy's little bitch. The amount that he has had to say compared to what he has said, we all know that it comes up that when a player has to talk, he has to get his notebook out and say certain things he's told to. But this man has gone and said so much extra, he has taken every bit of pressure off of Levy's back.
That's why he says he's a distraction and deflection.
Dan got it bang on at the end there. And the thing is, like we said, the fans, we've already talked about it. The fans don't want him gone, so it's easy for Levy to keep him. The fans are happy celebrating our failures. But Dan said it there. Ange won't complain. Levy will buy him crap players, and Ange won't complain. And that's why he's, like Dan said, he's the yes man. He won't complain. He won't kick up a fight. So Levy will keep him in here. Because if Ange starts complaining, he'll be gone, no matter what the fans want. If he starts being,
that's why he says he knows,
but he won't, because Ange doesn't know what a better player is, because he's never had to work in a real club before. And he's already shown he happily will go along. He'll happily go along with whatever.
Ange will not complain. Ange will not complain because this is the biggest payday of his life. He's never seen money like this.
I think will happen.
Ange has already said it. When he took up this job, right, he knows everything about it. So that means he's part of that Ponzi scheme, bro.
It's the biggest job this manager will ever get. That's it, right? And he isn't let's be fair, Ange is not getting a bigger job than Tottenham Hotspur.
He's not going to get another job in the top league. The other thing I can see happening with Ange is one thing you can do in life as such, you can buy someone to keep their mouth shut legally, yeah? And it wouldn't surprise me if Levy literally went to that standard and went, right, there's your 4 million payoff, but I'm going to write a contract with you now. There's an extra $1 million. You shut up. You don't say nothing. You take the full blame. And they can do that in court. And if he was to go and say something, then he would be in serious trouble.
But even Conte had that in his contract.
And I think Ange is weak enough to accept that.
No, but Dan. Even Conte, when he left, he didn't say anything because he wasn't allowed to.
Yeah. NDAs, that's not a very uncommon thing, by the way.
That's what I'm saying.
But that's not a Levy thing. That's just a market thing.
But it's very much a Levy thing. Very much.
No. But
it's a contract thing. All big companies do it. When you sign at a high level, you have to sign NDA. It's a standard basic thing in a legal contract of work.
The NDAs are normally over a time span, so it could be 3, 4, 5 years or something. That's why when all of a sudden you hear like an ex-manager or an ex-player just come out of nowhere and start talking about Tottenham, that's normally because they are allowed to say it again. Like that's not uncommon, right? That is a lot in the business of things and what happens.
Yeah, that's true, right? But to tell the truth, right, I keep saying whatever Ange does or doesn't do, right, it doesn't matter. But the thing is that the pressure is on now. If he sacks Ange in the stadium, right, those who are supporting Ange will turn to Levy out. Remember when the chance was allowed, when we were with Nuno, when we were Conte, next thing they were gone, right? But of course Conte was because right. He told the truth and he got picked up.
So guys, why are not enough fans wanting Ange gone? What is it really? I just really struggle to.
I don't understand.
There's so many, like we discussed earlier. What is? But there's a lot.
I can answer this one, Dan. I can answer this one for you.
Go on.
He had. I mean, people have heard me say it over and over again, and a lot of people disagreed with it at first, but some people actually agreed. He has had the easiest job a manager has ever had in football of winning this fan base. Yeah, not getting Spurs together, but winning this fan base. As all this man had to do was kick the ball forward, play attacking football, be entertainment. And it is still entertainment to certain fans because that's all what they want. Yeah. And because he still plays attacking football and we still put 3 past Liverpool, which is good, but we conceded 6, fans are still happy and shouting for Ange. That is why he has still got a large part of this fan base, I'd say 45%, because I think people are turning on his side because he plays entertaining football. There you go. And that is how simple the Spurs fans are. That is how simple-minded we, not us lot as such, but in general, as Spurs fans are. There's your answer. Easy done.
Yeah. Anybody else want to agree with the plan or contribute anything else?
Yeah, combined with that, what I would say is for years now, under Levy, we have seen slowly, as we have got farther away from when we are winning stuff as a club, you've seen the fan bases now moving towards Spurs fans are being told more and more, you're entitled if you think that we should be winning trophies. You're entitled if you think we should be considered in the top 4. You're entitled if you claim that we're a Big 6 club. And that's something that's been building up. Again, the farther away that we get from winning, the more the standards drop. And we get called out all the time, right, for saying that we think we should be better. You're an entitled fan. You don't know Spurs. Spurs aren't a big club, and more that's coming. And I think it fits in with what Dan said. So now that people say they just want to be entertained, it's not for Spurs. That you hear it more and more. It's not for Spurs. We shouldn't be expecting to win trophies. We can't compete with the big clubs. We should just want to be entertained. And I think it's like what Dan said, that sense that now fans just want to be entertained and they no longer expect titles. That's what's been happening for years. And I think it's just fit perfectly now that those two go together.
I just, do you know what? I just echo what Scott's just said. He's got the entitled man. I don't think we're entitled. We should never be entitled to win stuff all the time, but we should be putting ourselves in a position where you go, okay, we can see. The one thing, the great common is sprouts, right? When you see what we're doing and we can see we're getting better. There's progress and whatever buzzword you want to use, but you're seeing, yeah, we may not be winning every single week, but you can see what we're doing is getting better. We're getting worse and worse every week, to the point where I watch us and go, I don't even expect a result today. Do you know what I mean? We're getting worse and worse. But look, people can be wearing the entertaining things nonsense, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Now, guys, just to tell the truth, right? We're just the Spursy Rockets. That's all, right? Just put it in a sense. Spursy Rockets. Now, to tell the truth, right? It doesn't matter anymore, right? Until the main message, right, that should be said and try to spread and try to change this being the minuscule minority to a bit bigger, right, is Levy out, Yannick out. But the only way that it will reach that level, right, at this moment in time, because Levy's put in a hard place, right? If he doesn't sack him, he keeps falling down the league, his pocket is going to hurt. If he sacks him, the Ange cult, right, will turn on him. So, yeah, I'm sitting back. Yeah, I'm going to put on the popcorn and I'm going to watch the game.
But where's the point now, guys? Where's the point where Levy has to make a decision? But when is it?
To be honest, normally with Levy is if they don't get Europe, because that's the minimum he demands. But we're not getting that.
No, but
maybe if it's knocked out the cup.
No, hang on. I don't think the cups are irrelevant to this football club. We don't care about domestic trophies are irrelevant to this football club.
But the Europa,
because hang on. Whereas before, and this is my philosophy on this now. I've been thinking about it recently. Whereas before we had all the revenue streams that we had, European football and Champions League football was a priority. We had to get that. That was more important than ever. But we've made so much money now. That actually, getting into the Champions League is irrelevant now. It's not required. And like normally you'd be sacked, right? We've sacked managers for finishing 5th and 6th because we didn't get in the Champions League.
Yep.
Now it's irrelevant. The whole ecosystem of this football club now is just to exist. And sounds like a really dark and it does look like I'm in a really dark room, but I'm trying to fix the lighting in there. But it does sound like I'm getting all depressed, but I'm not. I'm actually really chilled. But we're at a situation now where actually just existing now as a football club is fine now. The football club doesn't need to generate enough money because we garner money from everywhere now.
So is that why he hasn't been sacked, Perchy? That's why he hasn't been sacked.
I think so. I think the reason why this manager's still here is one, because he's probably still in the cups. I think that's probably. I don't think it's relevant, but I think that's probably part of it.
And you're in the league. We're only 6 points from European positions. So if you're looking at it if Levy's looking at that table, it's 6 points from 6th. Is that right?
So
we're still
Dan,
in distance.
I don't think it matters. We could finish 11th this season. It doesn't matter anymore. As long as we
I know it doesn't matter, but what I'm trying to say is about Levy and why he hasn't pulled the trigger, because he's thinking once he gets the players back, adds a couple in January, that Ange can push us up the league. I'm just trying to get my thinking around.
I get what you said. This
manager is still here.
This chairman doesn't work like that mindset. He works very differently to all of us. He doesn't work on this manager. This chairman doesn't work on emotion. What
No.
he does, though, it's a self-preservation situation with this
Right.
chairman.
Okay, they're not singing Ange out yet.
There you go.
So the second you start it starts going, get this manager out of my football club, and I'm not talking about 8 of us sitting here on a screen that don't want him. I'm talking about when the whole stadium is booing to the point where they can't turn up the music loud enough that they can still hear it,
Right.
and to
Look
the
on
point
it.
where everyone is booing throughout the whole game, going, get this absolute fraud of a manager out. He's going nowhere.
I think one thing you're missing there, Perchy. Yeah? Let me play devil's advocate with this. Yeah, right. You're right in what you're saying. We don't need Champions League like we did before with the money.
Yep.
But now you've got to look on this from a business perspective. Yeah, in the idea of Levy is business through and through.
Yes.
Now a businessman has failed when he has not made the most money he can. Now he goes and makes, let's say, I'm just going to say 100 million. I know it's more than that, whatever, and that, but just call it a random number, yeah?
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, and he's made 100 million. Good job. But when he knows he could have made 120 million, to a sociopath like him, to a narcissist like him, he has failed because he could have made that extra 20 million. It's not that he needed to. It's not that we need to. But from a businessman's perspective,
I get your point.
He's failed, yes. And a true businessman wants to earn every single penny he can.
Yeah, I get your
so
point.
In that aspect, I think it could. I totally agree with what you said, but I think it also goes on the other side. He wants that every pound out of every penny he can get because that is what he is, a businessman.
Yep.
And if a businessman could have made more money and didn't, he looks on himself as a failure.
But I think,
guys, I heard right. I heard right. He needs 300 million pounds, right, to build his Levy Land Hotel. Is that true?
What's that?
He needs 300 million pounds to build his Levy Land Hotel.
Why do you think he was looking for an investment?
And why do you think people like Amanda Staveley are floating about? Like, it's all relative, right? We can go round the houses with it. Like, I hate talking about Daniel Levy because I think the guy, it doesn't matter. Like, and I respect all the guys that protest. I'm close with people like Daigle and everyone, Kaufman and all these guys all go to these protests. Credit to them, every single one of them that does go and has been banging on that drum. But as I'll always say, the tide is completely the opposite. They don't care that a couple hundred people are fuming. They don't care if a couple of thousand people can. Heck, they don't even care if a couple tens of thousand care anymore. This has become, they have built the empire. This is now like taking on like Microsoft or Apple or Facebook or any, like, do you know what I mean? This is like going, well, I don't like the way that Twitter's run, so I'm going to stand outside of Twitter and do you know what I mean? I'm not generalizing.
No, what if there is a lot of people, right? And then, but then the protest turns violent, then it gets ugly, right? Then then maybe something might happen.
I said on Sava's channel the other day because he did like a little phone in. I went on and I said the days of getting Levy out are gone.
I agree.
Are gone. They're gone. If you're going to get him out, if they were right now, I agree 100,000,000% with everything they do. I've stood on the protest myself when I go, which isn't very often. But like I've stood there, I've done my little bit, very, very little bit. But the time to get Levy out is gone. He's built. He has built. Hang on a minute. He has now built a £1 billion cash machine because that's all that stadium is. It's just a cash machine.
That's all it does. £1 million every time you use it. Prints £1 million every time you use that.
No. The home games.
More than $1 million.
The home games is like £6 million, I think. The revenue.
No, it's not. It's not
that
much.
It is. It's not that much. No, it's not 6 million.
It's about. It's about
in revenue. In revenue, yes.
In revenue, £1 million.
The whole revenue, including beer tickets and all that, is 6 million quid a game for every Premier League game. And so £2 million for winning an FA Cup. He's not interested in that. That's what. You know what I mean?
Look at it.
I understand the point of it's no point of, because he won't go out. But if no one keeps putting that out there, right, then that sound will die away and he will win.
But
Look at it this way.
He's already won.
Better, right?
He's already won. This is we're
Percy, it's easier than people realise to hurt this man. How do you hurt a businessman? In his pocket.
Yeah.
And even if the Spurs fans would just work together, still go to the games,
and they
but
won't
don't
do that.
go. I'm not saying they will. I'm saying how it's done.
But
and
fans
if they
don't
would just
care
work
anymore.
together, I know that, but I am just stating how it could.
I agree.
Be done.
You're right. Dan's right in what he's saying, but I think
you go there, you still go to the games. It's just you don't go and buy all the stuff. You don't go and buy all the beer there and everything. If even a quarter of the fan base at the stadium done that, that would damage his pocket that hard. I'm not saying he would leave, but he would definitely have to do something to get that money, that revenue coming back in. That is how you hurt a business.
Yeah, Dan
fans won't do it.
Dan, why do you think though that the ticket prices are the highest in the league? Because the people that will do it, he's priced out, right? The last time I went to the stadium, I was sat in the south stand. There was a couple in front of me. They didn't sing. They were looking at their phones the whole game. They were there for day out, man. Right? And they had Tottenham Club shop bags. Right? Because on our channel, I keep saying to Adrian, who's been a season ticket holder for Lord knows how long, I said, he don't want you there. He doesn't want you there. He wants the sort of people that are flying from abroad. No,
he wants Sun fans there.
No disrespect to any of them that come in from abroad. He wants the people that are going to come there for the first time. First time they've ever been to a Tottenham game, right? And the first thing they do is go straight in that club shop, empty the wallet with the kids, right? And that is it. He doesn't want the likes of me that won't buy a single thing in there.
Yeah, no, it's the as I always call it, it's the gentrification of football. It's not just Tottenham; it's football in the Premier League. The gentrification of football, and the thing is this is where it is it's all well and good. Oh well, putting pressure on. What pressure? Because it doesn't matter if 200 people don't go. Like I agree with all the sentiment, but it doesn't matter if 200 people don't go into the club shop or buy anything. Because there's 58,000 people that will.
That's why I'm not saying 200. I'm saying if just there is a quarter of that stadium at least of people who want him out, but they just won't do it, and there's no communication.
I actually don't agree. I don't think there's a quarter of people that want this.
Okay, let's say 15%. There is a percentage that wants to do it, right? And if they would just
people signing me out.
Yes,
people who want him out.
Okay, but Eugene, hang on.
They have to be triggered. Yes, no. They have to be triggered to do that. And at this moment in time, the trigger is there, but we're seeing it not happening, right? Guys, like I've been saying, right? We have a bourgeoisie fan base that goes to the stadium, and that's what Levy needs. That's all.
Why do you think when you go, because I've got one, you go and you sign up to the stadium so you can get tickets passed you from season ticket holders. You get a CRN, it's customer reference number. Customer being the prime word, right? It's not fan number. It's not like Spurs supporter number. It's customer. That says all you need to know about that, man.
But Levy's really clever though, isn't he? Because what he's done is he's built a big stadium. Obviously we had White Hart Lane before, 36,000. A lot of the hardcore fans will sit together, whereas now we got pockets of hardcore fans. So if say 2,000 did a strike and walked out in the 27th minute, you wouldn't really notice because they're little pockets. Whereas together.
Can I apologise? It's client reference number. Thank you, Ben.
It's
client.
But guys, we completely lost what I was trying to get to, right? And that's fine. Yeah, we'll have
when Levy gets mentioned, you do, mate.
Yeah, Levy, massive issue, and there's not enough plans turning. And even with 11th in the league, no one seems to really care.
Well, we sing his name.
Let's bring it back to Ange, and and the original question was, why hasn't he gone yet? And I mean, some people have given their opinions on it. truly, guys, we've got Newcastle next at home. I can't see us winning that. Then we play Arsenal. When
Forget
is
that.
Levy? I know it's all about Levy and the fans are not, they're not complaining enough in the stadium, but surely it gets to a point. Where is it? We have to be 15th, 16th for Levy to pull the trigger this season?
I think if we
Good
lose to
question.
Newcastle
I
and
don't know.
Arsenal and get a bit of a tonking at home to Liverpool, pressure might really mount then. But until
Yeah.
then, I think
Just
he's
pressure,
fine.
Nige. Just pressure. Not
Yeah.
Pressure,
not
yeah.
Problem is,
I mean,
that our
I'd
fans
have him gone now. But
Crazy.
5-1 down at home to Liverpool.
exactly,
So
they're singing his
clearly
name.
we're in a minority. We're in a minority then. I wasn't singing his name, but I'm saying the majority of the stadium
What does it
were.
have to take that we need to be in the bottom 3 for them to decide? What is it?
Relegation
Come on.
battle. That's what I'm saying, right? That's why I'm in.
I'll be honest.
Championship.
I'll be honest. I actually don't know, and I think that's the thing for me. Yeah, big up Dan, by the way, top guy. I'll be honest. You know my thoughts on this manager, and I don't like him. I can't stand him. I think everything about him is awful. But as has said, it's a minority. People like this guy. People want to give this guy till the end of the season. People.
So is
just have-
Levy going to give him to the end of the season? Whatever position he is in the league,
do
knocked
you know?
out the cups, he's
I'll
still going to
predict
keep
it.
him. Is that what you're saying, Percy?
No, I know what will happen. I'll predict it now. What will
Go on.
happen is Levy will sack him once he's out of all the competitions, but then our season's over. He will go once we're out of the Europa League, out of the FA Cup, out of the X, Y, and Z, man. That's what it's going to be. Once we're out of all the tournaments, then he'll go. But for me, my argument will always be get him gone now. Get someone incompetent enough. You might have half a chance against
Yeah,
Liverpool in
I
2
see
legs.
that. I agree that. So
Dan.
out of the cups. Go on, Scott. What do you think?
Yeah, I was going to say I'm really not sure because I think Percy was saying it. I had to step away, but I was still listening. In the olden days where we needed the revenue as much, he would have been gone already because we're too far away from top 4.
Mhm.
But we don't need those payments as much as we used to with the new stadium. So that's no longer going to be right. Because let's be honest, if you're talking about league performance, it's already at the point where he should be sacked. When we were for the first time in 16 years, and we were in the bottom half of the table at Christmas, that should have been enough to get him sacked right there.
Yeah.
Talking about performances, the 6 goals we gave up against Liverpool the other day, that should have been enough to get him sacked there based on performances, right?
Yeah.
So those 2 things are already gone. So we're already you saying where in the league table? We've already reached the point in the league table, I think, where he should have been sacked. We've already reached the point where we've been embarrassed by performances where he should have been sacked. I guess you could say maybe now we could say that it's going to be the being in all competitions. So we'll see what happens. If I'd be interesting to see what happens if we get beat pretty badly, not badly, but like a 3-0 by Liverpool here, where it looks like, you know what, sure, we still have a chance, but really we know that we're done.
I'd say
that. I'll be interested if he gets sacked there or if he goes out. But I don't know. I think it's totally unpredictable now to say when he gets sacked because we've already hit the points where he should be.
Before Dan jumps in, Scott, so what for you? Where's the point? You
for
call
me,
it out
he should have
now.
already been gone. Like I
Yeah,
said.
but where do you think Levy? Where's the breaking point for Levy? Out the cups?
I know it's such a terrible. I know you want to specific. I don't know.
No,
I
it's
think
not
we're in a new
I
territory.
know.
Because I think
I know
that
when he gets sacked.
we've hit those traditional. We've hit those traditional points.
Scott, I agree with what Scott's saying.
Because normally,
I
in
know
the
when
past,
he'll
he
get
would have
sacked.
been. He wouldn't be. He wouldn't be allowed to be this late in the season so far. Top 4 is gone. Like we can pretend we're not passing 6 teams to get into top 4. Like we're not doing it. Even if you think we can make up the points on one team, we're not passing all those teams to get there. Especially the way that we're playing. Like even if you brought in the best manager we could get, it would be hard for anyone to get us.
Yes.
Because again, people can focus on how many points there are. The real problem is you can't pass that many teams.
On the other side of
they're going to
it,
pick up points. So.
with that, even if we get taken out of the cups and everything, yeah, that is the highest side of him getting the sack. Especially
it doesn't matter.
The other cups, Eugene, hang on a sec. With the cups, it doesn't really matter. The Europa, yes, because it goes to Champions League.
Yeah.
The other way he's gonna, if anything, get kicked out, get the sack, is when it turns to a 70-30 on the fan base that want him out. Yeah. Whereas if Levy's happy with not getting all the money and just happy with a bit of Europa money, and we could still get that. It will only change when 70% of the fan base or 60%, however much it works on Levy, starts basically turning the we want this prick gone. And that is
and it depends when the Levy out. It depends when the Levy out songs start as well.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. He'll get sacked, right? We'll be in relegation battle, right? If the Levy out songs are not sung in the stadium. If the Levy out songs get sung in the stadium, loud and clear, right? He'll get sacked tomorrow.
Yeah, and that is because they want the manager out. So it's basically going back to what I said. When, say, 70% want it, then the Levy out songs do start. If they had the brains to sing the Levy out songs during the game, not at the bloody end when he puts the bloody music up, idiots, he will then do something. Because that's when the Levy out songs will start, when a significant amount of people want Ange out, even though they should be doing it for a different reason.
And not the Kulisetti song either.
Yeah, I hate that.
No, that's not a Levy out song. That's just a catchy little tune.
No, that's a party song.
Yeah. They're happy when they sing it. You can see people are happy.
Yeah.
So Dan, for you, it's when they sing Levy out. Is that it? Dan, sorry if I missed that. There's a lot of people saying
it's basically either when there's no chance of us getting Europa, because like Perchy said, the Champions League money, we don't particularly need it, but he still wants it where he's a greedy businessman. But if we go out Europa, we're not getting that Champions League. If we can still qualify for Europa, then maybe hang on to him. And why the fans are still loving Ange off.
Makes sense.
But as soon as it turns over to the high majority of the fans not wanting Ange in, and possibly the Levy out song start, he's going to have him gone. Or he will have him gone just before the Levy out song start, because he knows so much of the fans want him out and he don't even want it started.
Okay, I'm with you. Now I'm going to go to Mark. I've got a question for Mark, and it's: say we lose badly to Newcastle and Arsenal, are the fans going to turn Denmark, and then is Levy going to decide?
Well, let's face it. I believe we are going to lose to Newcastle and Arsenal, because when was the last time we got a result? Right, we got a draw there last year, but I can't. Was it? We won 3. Yeah.
Game, right?
Yeah.
Newcastle at home.
Yeah. Newcastle at home, then that lot away. I mean, possibly, but I don't know, because it's like I said, past managers have been sacked for a lot less, and Levy's been at the helm for all of them. You know that they've been sacked for a lot less. So I really don't know. I honestly don't know what he's going to do.
It's not like Levy to back a manager.
No. Especially, it's like Dan and that said, we don't need the top 4 because we got all the other revenue streams coming in and all that. And I completely understand that. I never ever thought that. So yeah, but normally a manager gets sacked if he can't get us into Europe, or it was top 4, but then Levy started. All right, the Europa League was all right. If a manager got us 5th, 6th, get us into Europa, yeah, that was good enough. But that's when the streams start. The other revenues of income started appearing. But so I honestly don't know. I mean, we could get absolutely battered by Newcastle and Arsenal, and I'd hope he'd sack him. But to be honest, he probably won't.
Okay, so for you, Mark, where is it? Where's the breaking point for Levy?
It's like, so I've just said I honestly don't know. I honestly don't know. No, because it's like I said, a lot of the previous managers that was here, they'd have been gone already for this sort of form, and the downward spiral in our form. We're dropping like a stone in the league. Well, not like a stone, but we're floating downwards in the league. So he would have sacked a lot of them ages ago. But he just seemed to not want to or need to with this man.
Okay, cheers, Mark. And Eugene, where do you stand on this? And then we'll go to Nige, and then I've got a question for everyone before we move to the quiz.
Yeah. No, I think I already said it already, right? To me, I don't care, right? In the end of the day, if the fans really want him to be sacked, right? If we can win the next 5 games or lose the next 5 games, right? Sing Levy out in the stadium.
Yeah.
It's worked with Conte. It's worked with Nuno. It's worked with Mourinho. I don't think Mourinho we sang Levy out, right?
The
Mourinho
fans have a
decided
lot of power then, Eugene. The fans have a lot of power.
He's just reactive to the fans. That's all.
Yeah.
Right.
But
He's
dude,
just
this is
reactive to the
it, isn't it? The fans have a lot of power. If they want to protest, they protest. They don't, they don't. They want to sing Levy out, they do, they don't. This is just so many problems, isn't there, man? It's crazy.
Yeah,
It's absolutely
That's why I keep
madness.
saying.
Madness. And
Yeah,
Nige,
we
just
keep them
hear from you, man. What's the breaking point for Levy this season for him? Because for me, I want Ange gone now. Weeks ago, to be honest, months. probably a month.
Yesterday.
Yeah, I thought he should have been sacked ages ago. But
yeah,
I don't think it'll be until the fans start to turn the stadium, which you would think if we lost to Newcastle, then lost to Liverpool, that might happen. But I just can't. I don't know. It depends how much. It depends how we lose, doesn't it?
Bro,
if we lose 7-5, but we score 5, then the fans will be happy.
When's the last win? When's the last win we've had? Was it Southampton away? Was it 5-0? That was it.
Must be.
One win in what? Right, yeah. What's it? 1 win in 8, 7, 6. It's this.
Win in 6,
how,
I think,
this is just unbelievable. It's unbelievable that he's still here and fans are still backing Ange. It doesn't make sense to me.
No.
Realistic, sensible thinking fans does not make any sense. Guys, right? I want everybody to tell me why you want Ange gone. We'll wrap that up, and then we're going to go to this quiz because, yeah, we've been going on for a while tonight. So, yeah. What do you reckon?
All right, Dan you leave, right, Dan?
Yeah, I've got to jump because the missus wants the kitchen back, and I've been about
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Right.
I know how you feel, Dan. Anyway,
if
mate.
I don't speak to any of you, have a happy New Year and that. And
take it down.
Right, Dan. Happy New Year.
Let's just forget about Spurs for about 3 or 4 days after you do the show. Get the energy back. And,
and wait for the on Saturday.
Take it easy, Dan.
See you later, everyone. Take care.
Cheers, Dan. Cheers, Dan.
Right, who wants to go first with this then? Ange out. I want your I want to go all of you just to tell you why you want this man gone ASAP. Because if anyone's watching this show who's still leaving, or not leaving, Ange in, that we need to tell them because this is a joke. It's a joke. I'm not enjoying this at the moment. It's horrible supporting Spurs. What can we get behind? Absolutely nothing. I don't look forward to the games. I don't think we're ever going to win. I don't think we're going to play well. Our players are losing confidence. They're looking worse than they are. I generally think that. Look, I'm not saying we could finish top 4, but found that 5, 6 position with the squad we got, we should be at least having a go. And then I should be feeling, look, we have a chance in the cups. Yeah, okay, Liverpool, put that one aside. But the Europa League, FA Cup, we should be in for something. Look, we don't win things, Spurs, but you have to have a little bit of hope. But you have to be behind a manager that thinks you can make those tactical decisions in games, who can get you over the line. Sensible manager. That's why I want someone else in, if the right appointment comes in. So look, guys, let's go. Who wants to go first? I don't mind.
All right, I'll go first, right? To tell the truth, right? I'm not Ange in or Ange out. I'm Ange don't care, right?
Yeah.
But what I've been watching lately, right? Not lately, ever since last season, I really been saying, right? After the first 10 games, we've been regressing. I do watch alongs, right? And I keep shouting the screen, right? Why the wide sides, right, are so open, right? And all they have to do is just put one ball over the cross and they get. So it is what it is, guys. Sensibly, right? If you watch the games, right? Are you entertained? No. Once in a while, maybe, yeah. But most of the time, no. And to tell the truth, I was at the viewing party with a couple of Spurs fans the other day watching the Nottingham Forest game. The guy next to me was falling asleep. Oh my God. So if you have sense, right? You should be Ange out. But if you want to be in the PTSD side, right? Then that's your choice, right? So life is life, right? It's your choices. It is what it is.
But that falling asleep thing, that boxing game against Nottingham Forest, I was literally falling asleep.
Falling asleep.
I don't know if any of you, I know we've had a lot of food and around Christmas.
Yeah. And we were in a public area.
The beers were flowing. The cut of beers.
I was falling asleep. Honestly, guys, it was that rubbish, that Nottingham Forest away game.
Yeah.
So boring.
That's it. And it's boring, right? And he's lying to us. He lies to us all the time. Oh, yeah, and that's one thing. I don't like the way he lies to us, right? He's like Levy, right? Being the manager. Because Levy lies to us all the time. So now Levy's found a replica of himself, put him in a management position, and tell us more lies. That's all, right?
Right, is it my turn?
Yeah, go ahead.
Right, now. Well, Ange has told a lie about the entertainment because it's not entertaining. Being terrified whenever we're knocking it about at the back, thinking in a minute they're going to nick the ball and score, right? And when we pummeled teams 4-0 and that, which it happens, like Southampton 5-0, but I mean, half the time, right? It doesn't matter. We'll put it this way, right? It doesn't matter who we play in that league, from the top team, Liverpool, to the bottom team, Southampton. There's one way and one way only, and there's no difference. No difference, right? Now, when we beat Southampton 5-0, yes, go all this inverted fullback nonsense up the top and like all out attack and all that, because they offer nothing. But surely, when you're playing against Liverpool, that got the likes of Salah, Jota, and all the rest of them up there, that we've seen what happened, that they just run through us, and they could have scored 10 in that game easily. There's no change. There's no change no matter who we're playing. You know what I mean? We could play a pub team on a Sunday morning and he'd play like that, or we could play prime Barcelona back in the day and he'd play exactly the same way. There's no adaptation. There's no, we'll put it this way. All right, you're on about that Forest game. Nuno, who a manager that was run out of our club, right? They went 1-0 up and he put 5 at the back and he said, now come and break us down. And we couldn't. We had about 70% of the ball in that game, and that game could still be going on now and it'd still be 1-0 to Forest. You know what I mean? It still would. And so his tactics are absolutely rubbish. He's killing our players because most of them are bloody injured now. With this high velocity football constantly, I mean, players just can't do it. They're burnt out. I mean, you look at the game against Wolves. Porro looks dead. He looks absolutely knackered. Sonny is knackered, but he's not the Sonny of old. All the players look exhausted. So would you be if you had to run around like that constantly?
That's true.
So that's why I want him gone, because there's no adaptation whatsoever. It doesn't matter who we play. It really doesn't.
Scott, a question for you.
Yeah.
Have we beaten anybody decent this season in form? I don't think we have.
Yeah, form-wise, I mean, I think our best 2 wins, you'd say, are Villa. I think it was during their worst stretch of games, and City during their worst stretch of games. When we've been playing some of the better teams in form, they've beaten us, which isn't a surprise, because I think, for me, I've said it before, and I'm not the only one, but when we play our best games, it's not usually because we are necessarily great. It's because the other team's set up in a way that we can take advantage of. Yeah. We need that other team to be set up that way so we can play our best style. We can't impose our will on other teams. And I think I've seen that far too many times from Ange this year, is that he can't impose his style on other teams. He can't overcome them. And if they set up against us, like we've seen so many times, we're very easy to neutralize. But when teams don't do that, we've had some good results. But for me, not nearly enough. And I'll try
to dwindling, Scott, aren't they? The results is slowly getting worse and worse, and we're dropping down that table. We can't put 1-2 wins together in the Premier League. We haven't done that. Have we done that this season, guys? Is that early on in the beginning of the season we got 2 wins in a row? Or have we not even done that?
I think we've done it once this year, right? In the Premier League? Maybe not even that. But
2 wins
and then that's the problem. We're not getting better. Like, even if that's the other thing. I mean, again, it keeps coming back to when we say there's no facts to back this guy up. If you were increasingly getting better, maybe you could say, okay, we can see it. But we're getting worse. And that's not the way it's supposed to go. And 18 months isn't like a short period of time where you can say we have to give him more time. You should be showing signs that you're getting better at this point, and we're not. And what's concerning to me is that not only are we not getting better, he's telling us he will not make the changes that need to get better. And when you have a manager whose the results are poor, the tactics are poor, and he's telling you that he's unwilling to change those things, I don't know how you can keep him on. I don't know how anybody can justify it when he's telling you that he isn't interested in changing. So that's what I'd say. The other thing I will say, and just to keep it a little lighthearted, I also would like him gone because he'll take away all of his cult members that come into the chats, and it really made YouTube a horrible place to be at times. And I know it, like, we can laugh about it, but it has been really miserable at times dealing with some of the cult members. And I said yesterday on Tottenham Away that what I want in the next manager is someone who doesn't bring with him his own personal fan base. That's
where they
not necessarily number one. It might be number two.
Are they from Australia, Scott? Is that where they're all from? Where are they?
Some from Celtic as well. There's a lot of Celtic fans who have come in too.
Okay.
With him as well. But I just want a manager that comes in that's just a regular manager that doesn't have a cult following, who people who love him are Spurs fans because they want to see Spurs succeed, not that they want to see their personal manager succeed over the club. And we have way too many fans now in our club that prefer to see Ange succeed rather than Spurs.
Look, I did have it early on in the season. A lot of these cult fans onto me, sending me essays in my comments in my videos, and they've kind of gone quiet last couple of months. I wonder why, but yeah, as you said, someone said, who was it, Nige, earlier? Was it when you said we'll beat Tamworth 6-0, they'll be back? Spurs are back. I think you said
Spurs are back.
Yeah.
That has been a classic this season, isn't it? Spurs are back. How many times have we heard that?
The quad is on. The quad is back on.
Guys, Perchy and you, and then we'll go to Nige, and then we'll go on to this quiz.
I'll leave it simple. This is the worst manager in the Premier League. That's why I want him sacked. End of.
The worst.
He's the worst. He's awful. I can't name a worse manager.
With the players, isn't it, Perchy? With the squad and the team he has.
No, he's a shit manager, and as I said, with 13, 14 other teams in the league, he gets them relegated. End of. I want him gone. I don't care what anyone says.
Fair enough. Simple. That was easy. That was quick. Thank you, Perchy. And Nige,
I'm gonna be pretty much just as quick. I just hate the style of football. I hate the fact that he plays players out of position. I hate the fact he doesn't get the best out of the players that we have. I hate the fact that we're never in control of games. We are the streakiest team in the Premier League. Even the wins we have, you look at them, we score 3 or 4 quick goals. The rest of the game, we're crap. So, for me, I just don't enjoy the football we play.
Can you just pull Jazz Fusion's comment up? That's funny. That is funny. Right about that one.
On, but then they pulled it.
Yeah, true. Yeah. The way that we play. The way we play.
That's clever. Cheers, Jazz. Guys, look, for me, it's just not. It's not good enough. To be 11th in the league, all those defeats, the inconsistent performances, the players looking terrible, the injuries to the players. There's such a long list of issues. You could talk about it for hours. How bad a manager Ange is, but hey, still there's too many fans still behind this entertainment, whatever they want to call it, or I'm in disbelief of the fan base as a whole.
Oh no, he's our entertainment manager, no more football manager.
Would you call him entertainment manager? In a kind of joking way. He's a clown. It's like a clown, isn't it? You see those pictures of him and a clown with Levy. We've seen it all over WhatsApp, Twitter. It's just sums it up. And I, obviously I'm in the WhatsApp groups. Just a lot of taking the piss out of Ange. And look, he's got to go. I just can't wait for him to leave so we can actually get a proper football manager in. But anyway, guys, thanks for everybody saying their bit tonight around Levy, Ange, the Wolves match, and just general how you're feeling about the club, and everybody in the chat as well. Big up to everybody who's got involved. Now let's go and finish it off the night with this quiz, Perchy. What have you got for us?
Oh, so we've got
a little light and banter time, right?
Oh,
that's
okay.
fun.
I was gonna say, just have a little bit of fun, like just before the end of the year. I pulled up a little question, some questions up. Says 40 questions. 25 of them are Spurs general knowledge questions. The last 15 is called Ange or AI. So these are quotes. They're either Ange quotes or they're made up AI quotes, and you just pick A or B, which one. So that one whichever one you want to do first. We can do some questions first.
Fire away.
If you want to, okay, let me know when you guys are ready and we can start. Everyone in the chat get involved as well.
Yeah.
It's a bit of fun, right? Just I'll let when you guys are ready. Ready?
Have we got to promise not to use mobile phones?
No cheating, yeah. Well, I mean, I'll be honest.
What fun would that be?
No, I don't care.
There's no prize. There is no prize. So if you cheat,
there's no trophy. There's no trophy, right?
There's no trophy in this one. Yeah.
We're all used to that.
Okay, let me know when you want to start.
Go for it.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Question number 1. Spurs are currently 11th in the league, but when did Spurs last finish 11th in the league?
Oh my God.
Season? If you were listening earlier, we did actually speak about it earlier on. So if anyone actually gets that one.
2004?
So how do we do this? Do we just say what we
write
everyone...
down, or we can do one at a time if you want.
Got no pen.
We can do
Put
5
notes on your phone. No.
Yeah, do notes in your phone. We'll do 5 at a time and make it so it's easier. We'll do just quickly. We'll go 5 at a time.
All right. I've wrote it down. Yeah.
Okay. Number 2. Who is Tottenham's current top goal scorer?
I know this.
Yeah.
All comps or Premier League?
All competitions. All competitions. Question number 3. Which player has currently completed the most minutes so far for Tottenham? Okay. Question number 4. Dejan Kulusevski has dual nationality. Other than Swedish, what is his other nationality?
That's a tough one, isn't it? Dual nationality.
Yeah. Who's Sweden friendly with? Who's
Hmm?
Sweden friendly with?
Any clues?
Depends with everyone, isn't they?
And finally, after we do 5, so do 5 times. Spurs signed Dominic Solanke from Bournemouth this season for £65 million. But who did Bournemouth sign him from?
Oh my God.
Oh, I know that one.
I know. That's easy.
Yeah.
Because I don't know any of them.
I know that.
Okay. Has everyone got an answer for the first 5?
Yeah.
Okay. Go. We'll answer them at a time. 5 at a time. Spurs are currently 11th in the league, but when did Spurs last finish 11th in the league?
94, 95.
The last time we won a trophy in 2008. 2007, 2008.
Oh, was it?
Oh, 1 year.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
2007, 2008. So if all things are, Ange is going to win us a trophy because that's how it works. That's we win a trophy when we finish 11th in the league. Number 2 was who is Tottenham's current top goal scorer?
JDL.
It is. It's if you're part of the JDL. It's
JDL.
Brennan Johnson is the top goal scorer at the moment.
Brenda.
Number 3 was which player has completed the most minutes so far for Tottenham?
It's got to be Kulu. It's got to be Kulu.
It's not Kulusevski.
Porro?
It's Pedro Porro.
Yeah.
Is it?
Kulu's a few minutes more than Kulu.
That's
Talking of Kulusevski has dual nationality. Other than Swedish, what was his other nationality?
Martian.
Italian?
No.
Russian?
Martian, yeah.
Rinketic's got it in the chat. North Macedonian.
Wow.
North Macedonia.
The surname may have given it away.
I didn't think of that.
Yeah. Number 5 was Spurs signed Solanke from Bournemouth for 65 mil this year, but who did they sign? Who did Bournemouth sign Solanke?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was Liverpool.
It was Liverpool.
Yeah.
Liverpool.
let's do another 5. Let's ready up. Everyone
Yep.
ready? Okay.
Yep.
Spurs play Newcastle next. But who was the last player we signed from Newcastle?
Oh, I think I got it. No,
Okay.
or was it?
Who's the guy with the handball in the Champions League? Sissoko.
Oh. well,
Just
Eugene,
giving us the answer.
there you go.
Cheers, mate.
3-1 for everyone
Thanks,
there.
buddy.
Number 7. Which player was the first signing for Tottenham under Maurizio Pochettino?
I should know this. I'm his biggest fan.
I'll give you a clue that there are 2 that signed on the same day. So if you get one or the other, it's fine. Question number 8. Name the Spurs player who scored in the World Cup final in 1966. Should get this one.
Mine's
And
gone blank.
question number 9. Who scored Tottenham's first goal in the Premier League in the inception in the 92-93 season?
I keep forgetting that.
Oh, damn. I knew this has come up before.
It has actually. Actually, I think it came with another one of my quizzes I've done
It did,
on a charity.
Yeah.
Just taking a punt on that one.
And then to round off the next 5, Paul Gascoigne scored a thunderous free kick in the 1991 FA Cup semi-final against which goalkeeper?
Oh, yeah.
If you remember your Spurs winning trophy knowledge.
Who lifted the cup that year? I'm just asking for a friend.
Exactly. Okay. Here we go. We'll give some answers. Spurs played Newcastle next. Who's the last player we signed from Newcastle? Well, Eugene gave us all a point. It was Moussa Sissoko.
I was going to say Ginola.
We've had a few since then. We've had a few French lads with a few players from Newcastle. I mean, Jermaine Genius.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Which player was the first signing for Tottenham under Maurizio Pochettino?
Dembele.
It wasn't Dembele.
No.
It wasn't Son.
I'm trying to think who the two were that came in together.
They came in together from the same football club.
Yeah. It was two sort of. It was two sort of like that never really fitted in because I don't think they're.
Point for Rinketic in the chat because one of them still here. It was Ben Davis and Michel Vorm from Swansea.
Yeah.
Yeah, they both signed on. They were the first signing. Question 8 was name the Spurs player who scored in the 96 final.
Greaves.
No, Jimmy.
No, he was injured in the final.
He was injured, weren't he?
I don't know. I'm not English. That's not fair. No,
it was.
I don't know.
I was going to say Jeff Hurst never played for Spurs. Who was the other scorer?
Jeff Hurst.
Who was the other scorer for England?
Martin Peters. Did he score?
Was Martin Peters.
Yeah, of course it was.
Martin Peters.
Even I wasn't born in '66.
Who scored Tottenham's first goal in the Premier League inception in 92-93 season? It's come up a lot in these quizzes.
Anderton.
Jukebox Jory.
Who?
Jukebox Jory.
It was Gordon Jury.
Whoa, that's a good shout. That's a good shout, Nige. That was Gordon Jury. Remember him.
Question 10 was Paul Gascoigne scored a thunderous free kick in the 91 semi-final, FA Cup semi-final, but against which goalkeeper?
If any of you don't know this, they should be removed from the show.
Agreed, yes. Everyone has to get this correct.
I don't know this.
Seriously?
It's 5 a.m. in the morning here now.
Oh, right.
Against the arch enemy, it was David Seaman.
Oh, I did get it.
Yes.
I thought I went a bit early. I did get it. Yeah, I did write Seaman.
Okay, let's quickly flick through and get some more in. Number 11 was which player delivered Gaz's FA Cup winners medal to him in hospital?
I know, but there's points asking me, innit? I know.
You know that one. I was
of course I do. Well, there's a big clue there that I know.
Yes.
Yeah, I've already put my answer in. So
I was 11 then. I can't remember.
I was 21 and just come out. No, I was 20 and just come out of hospital.
Well
What?
done. Well, so no, I'm not. Ignore me. We'll do them at the end. So,
Oh.
in 2002, which club did Spurs sign Robbie Keane from?
Yeah.
Quite famous.
Is this number? What number was this one?
That was 12.
12. Yeah, I know that one.
Number 13.
Great signing.
In 2007, Paul Robinson famously scored for Tottenham, but against who?
I know that as well.
That one.
I remember watching it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Remember the keeper. Yeah.
I can't remember.
Question 14. Who was the goalkeeper in the famous double winning side in 1961?
Yeah, I know.
I can't remember.
I do know this. I wasn't live. Just get that in there.
Are you sure? And then I'll round off these 5 with which team played Spurs in the first ever game to be held at White Hart Lane? The original White Hart Lane, not the new stadium.
Oh, that's a tough one.
What? When it was first built, or in its reincarnate? Because it got reincarnated a few times, didn't it?
When it was first built.
Right.
Yeah, when it was first built. Okay, let's scooch on back up. Okay, number 11 was which player delivered Gaz's FA Cup winners medal?
Can I say this?
Hospital? You can, of course, you can.
It's my man, Mr. Mabbott.
Is it?
I thought it was. He was the captain.
It was Paul Stewart from where I was told.
Oh.
Paul Stewart was the one. I as I said, I can't. From all the things I saw, they all said Paul Stewart delivered it to him.
He may have done, but Mabs certainly took the cup into him.
Yeah, the cup. Yeah, no, the winning medal we're talking. Yeah, no, he did the cup. Yeah, I agree. And the next one, number 11 was in 2002. Which club did Spurs sign Robbie Keane from?
Leeds.
Leeds.
Dirty Leeds.
In 2007, Paul Robinson famously scored for Tottenham, but against who?
Watford.
Oh, it was
Watford.
Oh,
it was Ben
Foster. Yes.
Ben Foster,
yeah.
Number 14 was who was the goalkeeper in the famous double winning side in 1961?
Bill Brown.
Bill Brown. Well done, sir.
Perchy, did you know that?
I didn't know that one. I didn't.
Well, it's not Mark's out there drinking lagers with him back then. Like,
question 15. Which team played Spurs in the first ever game to played at White Hart Lane?
Adrian was there.
Adrian, how old is he?
Yeah, about 90. No, I don't know. No. Adrian's nearly 70.
I got West Ham. I know it's wrong.
I guessed Everton.
No.
Nope.
It's going to be someone like.
Here we go. Let's see if you can get it.
Trying to think of an old team. Notts County seems that the oldest.
It is Notts County.
Oh,
put that down, Mark.
Yes.
No, I only guess that because they are the oldest team in the country.
Yeah, not
and a true fact on Notts County, Juventus wear the famous black and white stripes because of Notts County.
Agreed. Notts County gave him kits.
Yes,
that is actually very true. Let's quickly fire through. We got another 10 more questions, then we'll do the Ange or AI. In 1963, Tottenham became the first British team to win a European trophy, but which one?
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Number 17. Although qualifying for the UEFA Cup 4 times between 1986 and 1991, the club never played in the competition because of why? What was the reason why? If you know your football history,
say that one again.
Although qualifying for the UEFA Cup 4 times between 1986 and 1991, the club never played in the competition. Why? If you know your football history, you should get that one.
Mm-hmm.
Number 18.
I'd left school by that stage.
Oh, I love we're learning your livelihood. Who scored the
hold on.
Sorry.
I gotta go, guys. It's 5:30 here in Malaysia, right? You guys continue on with the quiz. because my mind scrambled at the moment.
Eugene,
buddy.
cheers for coming on,
Eugene,
man.
take care, man.
Have a good New Year. Yeah.
And
Everybody
everyone,
subscribe
happy
to
New Year.
Eugene
Right.
as well.
Yeah, everyone, happy New Year, and don't forget, subscribe to Spurs Vision TV, Perchi, and of course, Nige Coys, right? And of course, Spurs TDDI, guys. And as always, right, the message has to be leave you out, right? Take
Leave you
care.
out.
Catch up with you later.
Take care, my friend.
guys. Right.
Okay. We'll quickly move on quickly. Who scored the equaliser in the 4-4 versus Aston Villa in the 125th anniversary match? Who scored the 4-4 equaliser?
I got an idea, but I'm not
Say
sure.
that what year?
Oh god, what year was it? I can't remember the year of the match.
It would have been
I want to say 2007.
2007. Yeah,
Yeah,
because it's
2007.
1882, isn't it? 1882. It was
Yeah,
125.
Yeah, 2007.
What number question was that?
So this is number 18.
Number 18, okay, yeah.
Okay, and then we'll do
I
in the summer of 2006, Spurs signed Steve Malbronk on deadline day after missing out on which Liverpool winger?
Yeah.
You might be able to get that one if you can remember that far back.
Liverpool winger. Oh.
Yes.
Oh, Liverpool winger.
And then I'll wrap up this next five with which two members of Romania's 1994 World Cup squad signed for Spurs after the tournament? Should get that one.
Say that again.
Which two members of the Romanian 1994 World Cup squad signed for Spurs after the tournament?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You should be getting that one.
Yeah.
Okay. Ready, guys?
Yep.
In '63, Tottenham became the first British team to win which European trophy?
The Fairs Cup.
Winners' Cup.
Fairs Cup.
The Cup Winners' Cup. Yeah, the year. All the Fairs Cup. Yeah, the Cup Winners' Cup. Correct. Number 17. Although qualifying for the UEFA Cup for 4 times between 86 and 91, the club never played in the competition. Why?
English teams were banned.
Heysel.
Heysel, but English clubs were banned from Europe for 5 years. It wasn't it? Yeah. Number 18. Who scored the equaliser in the 4-4 draw with Aston Villa in the 125th anniversary match?
Kabul.
Eunice Kabul.
Oh,
famous
goal.
It was Eunice Kabul.
I was at some university party on that goal, and it was every time a goal went in, a pint was 20p. What a night we had!
Oh man, I bet.
God,
20p a pint.
Yeah.
You
8
can't.
goals.
Jeez, that's mad.
That was years ago.
That's excellent.
And people didn't even like football; they were just getting involved every time that goal went in. Brilliant.
Yeah. In the summer of 2006, Spurs signed Steve Malbronk on deadline day after missing out on which Liverpool winger? Anyone? Does anyone want to stab
I have got Leonardson down, but I know we signed him anyway, but I didn't know when.
It's not him. Anyone?
It wasn't McManaman, was it? No, it's a bit.
No,
it was.
It was Harry Kewell.
Oh, Harry Kewell.
Yes.
Oh, blimey.
And then finally, for these last 5 here was which two members of Romania's 94 World Cup squad signed for Spurs?
Popescu, Popescu,
and Dimitrescu.
Yes,
of course. Yeah. Let me quickly. We'll do the last 5 here, and then we'll do the last bit. Question ready?
Yeah.
Question number 1: how many Spurs players have scored a hat trick in the Champions League? That's question number 1. The next one here was 21, so 22.
How many players? His number.
Yeah.
How many players?
Yeah, how many players? It's a number. Yeah, how many players have scored? If you can name all 3, I'll be impressed if you can name all 3.
Oh, so it's 3 then.
Well, there's the answer.
Yeah, so it's 3 then.
Well, there you go. I'm an absolute muppet. Well, I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I got 2 of them anyway. I had 2 of them anyway.
I'll change the question. Can you name then the 3 players that scored a hat trick? I'll do that. I
think I got 2 of them.
Oh, I'm such a moron. Sorry. Anyway, next one was which 3 Portsmouth players did Spurs sign in January 2007, and for a combined of £7.5 million?
How much?
£7.5 million.
2 players from Portsmouth.
3 players from Portsmouth
3 players.
in one window in January 2007.
Oh, is that?
The next one is in 2000. Spurs paid £700,000 to sign 2 talented youngsters from Peterborough. What were their names?
Ooh.
Oh my days.
Question 24. Which goalkeeper then at Tottenham was on the cover of FIFA 95?
2000 and what?
No, FIFA 95.
95.
Which goalkeeper then at
95.
Tottenham was on the cover of
Oh, I
FIFA
know.
95?
Yeah, got that one.
And then finally, to keep it on the goalkeeper front, Casey Keller played for 5 English clubs, including a 4-year spell at Tottenham. But which was his first English club? Okay, everyone ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tough one.
How many? I've changed the question. Which 3 players scored a hat trick in the Champions League for Tottenham?
Gareth Bell.
Yep.
Lucas Moura.
Yep.
And the other ones, I would say Harry Kane. It's got to be.
Harry Kane. There you 3.
Yeah.
Talking of 3 players, which 3 players did Spurs sign from Portsmouth in the January 2007 window for a combined £7.5 million?
One's Jermaine Defoe, definitely.
One is not Jermaine Defoe.
Oh, it's not.
Nope.
No way, Pamero.
Hamero's one of them.
I put Crouch as well. I don't know whether Crouch.
Crouch, Crouch was 2008. He was a year after.
Okay.
If I said Old Trafford.
Oh, matey, Mendes.
Pedro Mendes is another one.
Mendes, yeah.
And the last one was, I will say he was Northern Irish. I think he was. I could be wrong. Sean Davis.
Oh, yes.
Next one. In 2000, Spurs paid a combined £700,000 to sign 2 talented youngsters from Peterborough.
Come on, Nige.
Simon Davis.
That's a good shout, man. That's a good shout.
And Matty Etherington.
Matty Etherington, well done, sir.
Oh, bastard.
That's it.
Good one, man.
Let me see where we're going. The next one was which goalkeeper was on the cover of FIFA 95?
Robinson, no?
1995. It was the Viking, Eric.
Oh, of course.
Do you know, I thought Eric the Viking might have left by then.
No.
FIFA 95 would have been the 94-95 season.
Yeah.
And
I've met him.
Well done. And then finally, Casey Keller played for 5 English clubs, including a 4-year spell at Spurs, which was his first team.
Say that again, Perchy?
So Casey Keller played for 5 English clubs, including a 4-year spell at Tottenham, which was his first English team.
I said Villa.
Nope.
I have no idea.
At Palace?
Millwall.
Millwall.
Oh. Okay. And to wrap it out, because you probably all want to go to bed at some point, let's play Ange or AI. And when you say it, you need like some sort of like caption to come up going, did Ange Postecoglou say this, or did I find it as did a computer do it? We'll do these one at a time. This will be quite fun.
If it's sensible answers, it's going to be the AI. If it's complete nonsense, it's Ange.
Okay. Is everyone ready?
Yep.
Everyone can shout them out on this one. I am here. I'm going to fight. I'm going to fight to make sure we bring success to this football club. Was that AI or was that Ange?
Ange.
He said, I was going to say, he said something like that. That's when he first come in, wasn't it?
What's everyone saying? Is everyone saying Ange?
Ange,
I think so.
Correct. That was Ange. The next one. Attacking is the only way we will... I'll say that again. Attacking is the only way we will be successful at Tottenham. Was that Ange or was that AI?
That must be him, surely.
AI.
No, that's I know Ange is a fool, but surely.
That is AI, correct? It is next one. It is not just about the result. It is how we perform that matters.
That's definitely him, because that was in the entertainment thing, wasn't it?
Definitely,
That's definitely him.
definitely him.
You all
And
are we all saying Ange?
yeah,
I'm going to say AI just to be different.
Yeah, I
Scott?
think he said something like that, but I don't know. I'll say Ange because it sounds
That
like
was
something.
AI. That was not
it?
Ange that said that. That was
Oh.
AI.
are you sure?
It was sure. I am sure because it actually the AI was actually me. I wrote that one and made it up myself.
He said something similar.
Yeah, he did. I'm so optimistic about this playing group. I think there's such a high ceiling with this group of players.
Oh, that's
Was that
definitely
Ange or AI?
Definitely Ange.
Yeah.
High ceilings.
Yeah, sounds like
I'm
him.
saying
Yeah, I'd say.
He likes to
I'd
talk
say
about
Ange.
ceilings.
Have you noticed none of these have got mate at the end?
So,
Yeah, but that would
I
give it
tried.
away,
I
wouldn't it?
tried to keep giving away those ones. And what we saying,
Yeah.
Ange or AI?
Ange.
That sounds like Ange.
Ange. Scott.
AI.
Scott saying AI. Dan.
That's Ange, isn't it? Surely.
That is Ange Postecoglou that did say that.
He loves talking about ceilings.
Next one. Whether you come or not, you will see a different Spurs under me. Was that Ange or AI?
Ange.
Sounds like a Saturday night for me.
Yeah.
I'd say AI.
Say it again, Perchy. Or maybe
I'll
I
read
heard
it
it
again,
wrong.
yeah? Whether
yeah.
you come or not, you'll see a different Spurs under me.
Whether you come or not.
I'll say Ange.
Yeah, he did
Sounds
say
like-
that to somebody, didn't he, when we were signing him?
Yeah. When he used to ring them
The
up.
answer is that was Ange Postecoglou who said that. He said that to James Maddison.
Yeah.
That's right.
Next one. I always hear criticism of my tactics, yet you can't stop watching us. Was that Ange or was that
It sounds
AI?
like Ange. It sounds like
That
Ange.
sounds like Ange to the after.
Ange.
Yeah.
It's
Giving it
one of
back.
those like after game things where
Giving
we
it
got
back to
like
everyone.
stuffed.
We all saying Ange?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was AI.
Oh, was it?
I made that one up.
Sounds like him, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Next one. I know what's important to build a winning team. That's what I need to concentrate on. Was that Ange or was that AI?
AI. Doesn't sound
AI.
quite sensible, that.
Yeah.
Yes. Far too sensible.
AI.
Yeah, that's
saying,
AI. AI.
Everyone's agreeing on AI.
Yeah.
That was Ange. It's just
Oh,
We're useless.
Next one. We're aligned in the way we're trying to achieve here. It's not going to be easy, but you can't fast track experience. You just have to stay true. Was that Ange or was that AI?
Sounds like Ange.
Yeah, that sounds exactly like Ange.
AI, I think.
That was Ange. Well done. Can someone say, can you do that whilst looking at the floor? Yeah, well, that'll make it make it easy, won't it?
Yeah, side dancer there. Yeah, can you do it looking at the floor?
Here's next question. I get asked to be more pragmatic when things don't go to plan. When we're winning things, you say nothing.
That sounds like Ange.
Sounds like Ange.
That's not so long ago, I believe.
Sounds like Ange.
Sounds like Ange.
I've heard him say pragmatic.
Doesn't
What are we
like
going
that
with?
word, does he?
Ange, definitely.
Ange.
Yeah, he hates that word.
That was AI.
Oh.
That was made up. That's a false quote. However, it does sound like it's sort of thing you would say.
Yeah.
He hates it. He doesn't like that word. Yeah, he can't. Doesn't get it.
Next one is, I want to be successful at this football club. It's why I was brought in. So what other people, how they want to feel, and what their priorities are zero interest to me.
Ange.
Yeah.
Definitely Ange.
Ange.
Give me a large.
Ange. You're all saying Ange?
Yeah.
You will be all correct. That was Ange that said that.
Yeah.
Next question. Next one. Look at my past. I always win, mate. So why am I being questioned here?
Is this a second season thing?
That's the quote.
Yeah. Because I know he was always, like, the start of the season, they kept
I think
asking
it's
him,
AI.
didn't
That
they?
one. AI.
Yeah, it's very nearly what he said, but the second season wasn't in there, so I'm going to say AI as well.
AI.
AI. AI all round. It is AI.
Yeah.
Next one. It's still fairly tight. I just feel that at some point we're going to get a relatively healthy squad, and when we do that, we'll be able to perform at the highest level of consistency.
Could be
AI.
Ange. Could be Ange, but it's a little bit different.
I'm saying AI.
Yeah, I'm going to say AI
I'll
because
go AI.
consistency is certainly not in his.
That's what I thought.
AI.
Everyone's-
Yeah.
That was Ange. That was
Oh.
what he. That's what he said yesterday.
Wow.
They came out of his words yesterday. There were 3 left to go. Fans are allowed to question my methods. They shouldn't question my mentality.
That is exactly what he'd say.
I mean, it sounds exactly like Ange, but also like what Perchy would type into AI.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is
I'm
really
going to go with
true.
Ange because he always likes to have a go at the fans.
Are we all saying Ange?
Yeah, I am, definitely.
That was AI.
Yeah.
Next one. 2 to go. Next. I expect the fans to be louder at home. At Celtic, it was rocking every game. Here, not so.
AI. Don't think he's called the fans out that
AI,
much.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm
He,
not sure
he
it's called
did
fans.
call the fans out in the City game, didn't he? There was a little mumblings, but I can't remember what he said.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go AI.
No, I'm going to go Ange for this one. I reckon it was after the
It's an
City
Ange.
game.
Nigel's gone AI.
AI.
Dan?
AI.
That was AI. That wasn't. He did not
Oh,
say
all
that.
right.
And finally, trust in me, and you will see success.
Ange.
AI.
AI.
Yeah, I'm saying AI. I can't remember him saying that. Well, I don't listen to him, so I don't know.
And you'll be correct. That was AI. That one wasn't.
Yeah.
Oh,
There you go. There you go. A bit of fun for the.
Ah,
for
it was
your,
good,
for
man.
your,
Yeah.
It's fine. That was
Good
good.
fun.
Perchy.
by the way, we need an Ange or AI segment at every show now. By the way, Ange or AI. I like these. I could do these all day. This guy. Thing is some of these are incredible. Some of his quotes, I couldn't put them together. I was like, these are great.
Let's face it, any of that gibberish could have been him.
I should create and make up Ange quotes and see if
Yeah.
people actually believe them. Like some of them were quite realistic.
It is all
These-
waffle. Chris in the chat says here, look, it is all
Yeah.
waffle. You just
Yeah.
don't believe any of it. He's
No.
a good manager, is he? And she's just not a good manager.
No.
He don't care. He's on his own personal quest, isn't he? Don't know what
Yep.
he's doing.
Quest
He
for
is
fire.
indeed.
He's just so clearly out of his depth, and I know that people don't like when you say that, but like he did. He did great for Celtic. He can go back to Celtic. He can go back to. It's probably above Australia now, but you know he can go to the championship and do something, but it's just not for the Premier League, where you're going up against people who tactically are so far ahead that you can't just do the same thing week after week. The guys are too good now. Like the Premier League managers are too good.
The thing is with Ange, though, right?
Yeah.
Now, when he was at Celtic, I think Celtic, I'm not sure the exact percentage, but Celtic spend something like 40% of the Scottish league.
Nope, more than that. 60%.
Oh, is it? It's 60%, is it?
Mm-hmm.
So Celtic spend 60% of
That was
all
nice.
the money that's spent in Scotland.
I mean, we complain about City. Celtic has a bigger advantage in the in their league than City has in the Premier League, right?
Yeah.
Like they are As much as
Yeah.
we
Oh, yeah,
complain
no.
about City, Celtic's bigger than everybody else by far.
I dug this up when everyone kept talking about his success at Celtic, and I dug those up. I went, you know what? At the time he's there, I'm gonna judge what the spending in Scotland was, and compare how much was spent by Celtic compared to everyone else. So Celtics was like 60%. Rangers was, I want to say 30%. Don't quote me exactly. And then the rest of the league was the last 10%. Like it wasn't exactly those specifics. I'll just keep it simple for it. And that is what that's what people I found it absolutely insane.
Yeah. And so what I'm saying then, if he's at the biggest club in the country, them tactics will work. You know, because he's got the biggest squad. When they all go down with hamstring injuries, you know, he's got the biggest squad. So, and you're not playing as good teams, you know, because, you know, every Premiership game is a bit of a toss-up, really. Who can win, unless you're playing Tottenham. But you know, I mean, the bottom team on their day can beat the top team.
Yep.
You know what I mean in the Premier League, but you very rarely see that in Scotland.
No,
it seems that Celtic play haven't got the quality to punish Ange's mistakes.
Yeah.
Go on. Guys, should we do a predictions for the Newcastle match before we wrap up? Because we normally do that on the show, don't we? We talk about the next fixture. Newcastle won tonight, 2-0 away to Man United. Isaac on 4 minutes, Joe Linton on 19 minutes. Newcastle in a bit of form.
Yeah.
Flying at the moment.
What's happened to them, guys? Just a little bit about Newcastle. Because Howe was struggling, wasn't he, early on this season? But he's turned it around. Anybody kind of got any kind of thoughts on that? What's happened there?
What,
Is it injuries coming back?
At Newcastle, I think Newcastle have just, I think they've always been a good squad though. This is the thing, they had a bad run. Most teams, there's no consistency. We use that word all the time. No consistency in the league. Now they're starting to pick up form. You notice they've gone from being mid-table after 3 or 4 good results. They're now in the conversation for Europe. That's when I always say about consistency. Like, you don't have to be the best team in the league to start climbing the table. But yeah, I mean, you want a prediction on the game? Do you want me to give you that one?
Yeah. Yeah. Anybody? What their thoughts on
getting-
Newcastle are? What their thoughts on the prediction side of it?
They are going to batter us. They're battering us. It's up at Newcastle as well, isn't it?
No, it's at home.
It doesn't even matter. It doesn't. I used to go, if it's an away game, we'd probably lose it, but win at home. I don't see it. With this manager, I can't see where we get a result. I look at the league and I take Tamworth out of it. I expect us to beat them. I can't see when we get our next. I can't see when we get our next 3 points. Is it that bad? I genuinely don't see where we get our next 3 points.
I agree.
As I said, you take Tamworth out because I expect us. We'll be battering Tamworth, but I say battering. We should beat them. I'll go through the games. Newcastle, don't see we win that. Liverpool in the cup, don't see us getting. We might nab a result there, but in the overall tie, I don't think we win it. Tamworth, we should win. Arsenal, we ain't winning at the Emirates. Everton, we're not beating Everton. They do it in a good run where they're not losing games. Hoffenheim, probably, but away from home in Europe, not sure. January 26th is when we got our next win in the league. I'll put it that way. There you go. Leicester City. We beat Leicester City. That's the next game in the league we win.
I can't see us beating Newcastle. I think Newcastle have a lot of their injured players back. They're looking strong. Obviously, Spurs still got injuries at the back. Udogie's now out for a while. Bentancur suspended.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
I can't see Spurs getting a result. But you never know. Like, on our day, we can beat anyone. On our day, we can lose to anyone.
I think that's finished
the way
now,
we're
Nige,
playing.
on our day.
We just look devoid of any confidence, don't we, at the moment?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sav.
He is.
Hello, Sava. You come in right at the end.
Quiz.
Yeah.
I just thought I'd say hello.
Should we see if Sava's knowledge on Ange versus AI?
Do it.
Go on.
Yeah, I'll give you a sprinkling. You've missed out on the fun, right?
Yeah.
So who said this? I always hear criticism of my tactics, yet they can't stop watching us. Is that Ange or AI?
It sounds like something the arrogant fucker would say, doesn't it? Let's go with Ange.
No, that was AI.
Oh,
Let's find another one.
Guys, I've just watched Newcastle v Man United, right? Newcastle are everything we are not. They are a superbly well-drilled football team. They double up on their players. Their midfield is solid. They defend brilliantly. They hunt the ball down in packs. They play good football. They win games. They keep clean sheets. And they are now 8 points clear of us in 5th. Just
we
thought
were
I'd
just
share that with you all.
we were just doing predictions, so 5-0 Newcastle is what I'm going for.
The only thing I would say is Fabian Schär did pick up a yellow card, so he's suspended.
4-0 then. 4-0.
Does it matter?
5-1
at this point.
Honestly, they were excellent, guys. They were superb. I know you guys haven't been watching it probably while you're streaming, but just such an organised team. Oh, good.
What's the turnaround, Saturday, for you for Newcastle? Because they didn't start well this season. What do you think that is?
Sorry, say that again. Sorry, mate. My computer went mad.
The turnaround with Newcastle, because they were struggling earlier on this season. What's happened with them? Why is they're suddenly getting a bit of form now? Last kind of 5-6 games.
Look, I think teams go through bad form. I think fans like to blow it up a bit. Whenever a team has 4 or 5 bad games, everyone goes, "Oh, they're done. They're finished. They're crap. They're rubbish." I just think Eddie Howe's a good coach. I think he's a really, really good football coach. And for me, I think he's made some tweaks. You see Jacob Murphy's come into the team in the last 4 or 5 games, works hard, scores goals, tracks back. The midfield 3 really works. It really, really works. Tonali, Guimaraes, and Joe Linton. Do you know what I said just now on my stream, Dan? It's like a man's midfield, if that makes sense. It's a midfield of 3 men.
Yeah.
You look at our midfield, I just feel like we look like we're wimps. We look like we don't want the fight. We don't want the tackle. Bruno Guimaraes in the 93rd minute there just sprinted back 50 yards to make a lung-busting tackle to stop Man United through on goal. And I'm like, I can't imagine our players doing that. So, I don't know. Listen, I think they're really good. I'm not saying we can't beat them, but Isak and Gordon, and by the way, Lewis Hall at left back, very good footballer.
They don't do the inverted nonsense, do they, Newcastle?
No inverting. Their fullbacks, Hall and Trippier, outside every time. Outside every time. If we had him as coach, we'd be top 4. I'll say that right now. If we had him as coach, we'd be top 4 with our players.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, I don't want to keep harping on the same things, Dan. And but what, like Sava said, what happens is he's a manager that saw what he had in his team, saw what was wrong, and fixed it.
Yeah,
he didn't
that's
just
what
say,
a manager
"I'm going
does."
to keep playing my way and shoving it down everybody's throat." He sees what's wrong, he fixes it. He has players doing what they're supposed to do, and then when you have quality players, it ends up working out more often than not. Much like we don't do at this club, which is frustrating.
But that is what a top manager and a top coach do. They work with the tools they've got. You find a way. You find a way to get the best out of the players you got. Because let's face it, Udogie and Porro were both bought for Conte as wing backs. And so why? And they're bloody good wing backs, but they're just not very good at defending.
The biggest one for me, though, Nottingham Forest, second.
Superb.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. We run Nuno out the club, and we ran Nuno out the club.
But isn't it amazing what happens when a manager plays players in their actual position in tactics that aren't crazy? Like, listen, I'm sure Forest, and sorry if I'm doing them a disservice after my massive row with a Forest fan at the weekend, but I'm sure they will probably plateau out a little bit as the season goes on, right? Because cream rises to the top. But for me, is another manager. Listen, I'm not saying I want Nuno, but he's recognised, what have I got? What do I need to be successful? I'll tell you what, first thing I'll do, I'll build a back four. Yeah. And the back four works. You know, secondly, I'll have two blokes in midfield who aren't glamorous. But you know what? Like, if I said to anyone here who wants Ryan Yates in midfield at Spurs, everyone would go, he's rubbish. Look at the job he does for Forest. He kicks anything that moves. Right? He will tackle anything. He wins every header. He defends. He goes forward. We harp on about Sar's brilliant. Basuma's brilliant. Bentancur, we missed him. Did we? Like, do we? Like, it's just a lot of. I don't know. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I'll say this. This will get me in trouble, but you know I don't give a shit anymore. A lot of this fan base have what they want. They wanted this manager. They want to keep him. They have got bottom half because they want it. I'm seeing all these polls today, like the Fighting Cock podcast. Yeah, whose cult leader Flav goes on to, I'll call him that, I don't care, goes on to TalkSport and says, oh, I think we're going to finish third this season. Then when he's horribly wrong, it twists to, oh, but what if Ange is right? And Jason Kunde's laughing at him going,
oh, that was a shambles, wasn't it? That I saw that. Oh,
right,
that was
you got
just
them.
a bad interview.
They did a poll, and out of like 5,000 people, something like, I think it was something like 3,500 or something, said they want Ange in.
Yeah,
and it's like
three quarters want. It's 3/4 want this guy, but you're like, look, I agree. Like, people got what they wish for. Like, I think this guy is the worst manager in the Premier League. The worst manager in the Premier League now. I would take any of the 19 managers managing that Premier League over this guy. This guy's awful. Like, I don't get it. But you're right. Like, people, we're getting battered by Liverpool, and their fans are singing his name. So you kind of, where do you go with that? Fans in the stands are singing his name.
Well, there's no hope that they're still singing his name when we're 5-1 down. 5-1 down we were, and they were singing his name.
I don't know.
Savo, I've got a question for you, man. While you jumped on, we were talking earlier about where is Levy's breaking point with this? Then when is Ange going to get sacked? For you, when do you see that happening?
A year ago at Chelsea should have been the breaking point when he played 9 men on the halfway line. Mate, I don't know. I'm sure. Look, listen, I know all of you guys for years now in various different ways, right? And I know you all agree with me on this. I think the breaking point should have been a long time ago. We have had so many managers that have been sacked for doing better than this. And then the one manager that Levy shows lenience and patience to and gives him loads of money is one of the statistically worst managers we've ever had. And I'm at the point now where every time I do a watch along, it's like, will he get sacked if we lose today? And I'm like, no, he's not going anywhere.
So, Savo, honestly though, if you actually think this through, when is that point this season? Is it February, March?
I reckon the moment we're knocked out the Europa League. I think the Europa League is everyone keeps saying it's the League Cup. Daniel Levy does not give a shit about the League Cup, right?
You don't even get £1 million. You don't even. You get about 700, 800 grand. I think
$500,000, isn't it? $500,000 for winning it. Yeah.
Oh, is it?
It's about that. Yeah, it's not a lot.
It's what Haaland gets for a weekly.
Yeah,
his monthly.
Yeah, goal bonus.
I don't know. I think the Europa League is the final. It's the final get out of jail free card for Champions League football next year.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah.
I don't think anyone on here probably believes that we're going to win it. But until we're not in it, I think Daniel Levy's going to keep him in. But that's a dangerous game because what if we get to the quarterfinals of the Europa League, but then we crash out and we're 11th or 12th in the Premier League? And we've got no European football next year. This club will spiral because we're already having crap transfer windows. Then the excuse is going to be, well, we didn't get Europe, so we can't attract players. For me, a top club right now goes, I don't know if you guys have seen this today, right? With all the teams that have won today, Tottenham Hotspur, remember when people were going, well, we're only like 3 or 4 points off fourth, right? We're 3 points off the top half at the moment. We are, listen to this. As it stands, Tottenham Hotspur are 14 points behind Nottingham Forest in second. Right, we're 13 behind Arsenal, but they have a game in hand. 12 behind Arsenal, they've got a game in hand. We're 11 points off Chelsea in fourth. We're 8 points off Newcastle in fifth, and then 7 points off Man City in sixth. And we're 3 points off of the top four and 5 points off of ninth. So straight away, right? Newcastle in fifth, even if fifth gets you Champions League. For Spurs to overtake Newcastle this season, in the last 19 games of the season, whatever Newcastle do, we need to win 3 more. So if Newcastle win 11 of their last 19 games, we've got to win 14.
And we play
And do that much
4
against
days.
City, and do that much against.
Exactly.
But Sava, you say Levy's going to wait until we're at the Europa. That'll be it. We're not getting Europe by that point if we stick with Ange.
Mate, I don't know what else it could
doesn't
be.
make sense. It just doesn't make sense. Why?
But
who's advising Levy on this guy? Who's advising him?
No, but as I said to you, Dan, as I mentioned earlier on in the show, the problem is this the chairman. We'll talk about Park Ange. I think this guy is awful, but Park, the chairman, what he lives off, as I mentioned earlier, fan pressure. Why does Levy need to sack this guy? Fans are cheering his name when we're getting beaten. So my point is it was different because everyone went, oh well, we got rid of Nuno. Fans were screaming for Nuno to be sacked when we got beaten to Man United. Man United when Ronaldo battered us and had that game where he beat. So that's the difference, right? It will turn. If for example we get battered to Newcastle at home, and then the whole place is like, it could change them. But what's the point? Fans are singing his name because we're getting beaten 5-1 to Liverpool. Why would he? Here's the question. Why should Daniel Levy make a change?
He will be sacked.
I don't agree with it. Why should he make a change?
He will be sacked when the Levy out songs ramp up in the stadium.
Yeah.
If the whole, not the silly Kulusevski one, because that's just a sing along, right? If like Daniel Levy get out of our club, like it was in the Man United game, and his wife's got to stroke his knee and say, "Look, everything's going to be all right," then it will be gone.
Maybe she was just turning him on.
Well, whatever was going on, but that is when, because at the moment it's like Perchy and Sav said, 5-1 down at home to Liverpool. They were still singing his name. It's
what we need is a couple of hammerings. It's no good.
No,
good but if we lose 5-3, 5-4, the fans will be happy because we scored 4. But we need to lose like 4-5-0 a couple of times.
But to be honest,
that's already happening, and it's not. Do you know what I mean? Like that's we've been under a few humblings already this season. So like, the thing is, the January is going to be the telling point, right? January, as I said, will be the telling point because we've got to play Newcastle, we've got to play Arsenal, we've got to play Liverpool in the cup. January is going to. I think January is going to be the telling point. But the problem is the sort of skeptic in me goes, well, it'd be easier to sack him after January. And then it's going, oh, well, there you go. You don't have to bring in a new manager who goes, I want X, Y, Z. And do you know what I mean? But I'm at that point where I don't care anymore. I wanted this guy gone for months. I've wanted him. I think this has been statistically one of the worst years for this football club in how long? And that's why, like, I'll never sit there and go, the reason why it's happened is because of Levy, because there's other managers under Daniel Levy have done a better job with absolute crap compared to what this guy's got.
Yeah, and the thing is as well, I think Daniel knows that if he does sack him, then all the fans are going to be
same terms now, Mark. What's going on here?
Well, whatever.
What's going on?
Daniel,
you sound like Simon Jordan.
I went round for tea earlier. No, but like he knows that if he sacks him, the fans will be pointing at him, or a lot of them will be. Especially the ones that love him and keep singing his name in the ground when we're 5-1 down.
Also, what I do think it is we're at the point where I think the chairman now knows that he can't just sack him without a plan. Does that make sense? This kind of
Yeah.
the only way I think to appease people that are still loving this guy is you have to sack him, and then the guy very similar to when we got rid of Pochettino and brought in Jose the next day. You've kind of got to be in that position because otherwise he knows he can't not do it that way. If that makes sense, that's my opinion anyway.
Guys, let's wrap it up because I've got to wrap it up tonight. But let's go over that Newcastle prediction before we just close the show down. Where did we get to? I think Perchy. I think you said it was a defeat.
Oh, I said we're getting battered.
Scott, what did you
4-1 Newcastle. I think they're
4-1
going to.
Newcastle.
I think they're going to take it to us.
We always score. 3-1.
3-1. Sava, do you reckon? Is there any chance we can beat Newcastle? Anything? Have you got anything at all there to give us, to tell us?
Not from what I saw of them tonight. I thought they looked excellent, and I mean, just so you know, they've scored 16 in the last 5 games. By the way, Newcastle, they're flying. They're absolutely flying.
That'd be 25 after the weekend. Then.
I was going to say they've won 5 on the bounce. By the way, we've won 2 in 10.
Yeah.
In the league.
I reckon it will be. Listen, to be fair, other than Liverpool, we don't take hammerings. We're always there or thereabouts in a game, but we just do silly things. So I think maybe a 2-1 Newcastle, and I can't believe you're stopping the show. I feel like speaking Spurs for hours. Might just do an impromptu show.
I've got some jobs to do. Not unless Nige wants to stay on for the late night shift.
I'm joking.
I can't be up at 5.
5.
Why?
Yeah.
5 o'clock.
What?
New Year's Eve.
It's depressing.
Just be a YouTuber. We don't have to get up at 5 a.m.
Hey, I've got a flight to catch. I've got to be leaving the house at 5.
Oh,
yeah.
Nige, what do you reckon, mate? What do you reckon? Newcastle game. Well,
but I can't see us winning. I can't see us getting anything from it. But it is the kind of game we would probably turn up and win.
Is it on TV?
Tottenham are back. Tottenham are back. Ange is back.
But
no, I think we lose.
Is it Super Sunday? Is it
Saturday? Isn't it?
I think it's Saturday. Is it what 5:30 or 12:30?
Yeah, 12:30. We got the early kickoff.
It's early because it's
destroy the weekend before it's even started.
Yeah. We never win early, so yeah, we lose.
No.
3-1.
Oh, yeah, I think we'll lose as well. I haven't got any hope in hell with this team. As soon as we get Ange out, the better. But yeah, what's there to say? We've really gone over it all tonight, haven't we? We've covered so much. Thanks, guys, for all jumping on. Sava, sorry we're jumping off, mate. I'd love to spend a bit longer with you, but there'll be more shows in the new year. We'll get you on again. And thank you to Mark for jumping on, mate. Thank you.
No worries, mate.
Scott, Perchy as well. Thanks to Haz jumping on. Who else jumped on? Dan. And who else?
Eugene.
Yeah, we've had a few tonight.
Eugene came on, did he?
No.
No.
Not your mate, Eugene.
Oh.
Malaysian Eugene.
Okay.
Is that Eugene, Sava? Is that Eugene S in the chat?
No. That's Eugene S is Sava's mate.
Sava's mate. Eugene S is the one that's been wrong about Ange for about a year and can't admit it. That's yeah. I've got receipts on all these Ange fans, by the way. I've got receipts.
Same. I've got loads.
Don't you worry about that, Perchy. We started. Remember, Perchy, when we started saving all the clips from the likes of Ben Bowman, Flav Bateman, Mitch, all of these people that came out with these ridiculous things that we're going to win leagues and finish third. We've got it all stored so that they can't turn around and go,
it's in the vault.
It's not been backed.
So when's that happening then? When Ange's gone, is there going to be a show about it?
Oh no! I'll tell you what. It's a public holiday when Ange's gone. It's a public holiday. I'll be getting the champagne out when he's gone.
Me too.
Oh, anyway, guys, big up to everyone in the chat. Please subscribe to all of us if you haven't already, and I hope you have a happy New Year. And there's not much to look forward to for Spurs at the moment, but we'll be back.
We're on tomorrow, getting drunk, by the way.
Yeah, who's on with you tomorrow, Mark?
You're watching.
Adrian. It's me and Adrian, and I'm not sure who else he's got on.
Is that dressing gown, Adrian?
Yes.
You two are going to get drunk together New Year's Eve talking Spurs.
Well, I am. I'm not sure about him.
I like it, man. I like it.
I was drunk last Friday.
Yeah.
You made me throw up.
That wasn't me.
I won't be jumping on again not tomorrow. I jumped on last week, and yeah, we had a little bit of an argument with Adrian, but yeah, it was all.
I've got a murder mystery board game New Year's Eve. That's where I'm at. Just so you know. Yeah.
That sounds fascinating.
Have fun. Have fun.
What happens when you don't drink anymore, Percy? Things stop being as much fun.
True.
Let me tell you that.
I just try to stay awake till midnight at this point. I'm just waiting, and then it's like
really
old.
I'm off to bed. You know, we've got to.
Oh dear. Anyway, guys, thank you everybody. Big up to everyone in the chat. Thanks for watching the show, and yeah, take care, everyone. We're shutting down now.
Okay.
Good night.
Good night.
Ciao.